I said, hold up, got my glizzy, bang, bang.
Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to the one, the only Nights at the Round Table. Let me try it again, hold on.
Nights at the Round Table.
I just feel like that just works so much better with it, but let me throw a couple of these in there real quick. Let me throw one of these in there. All right, there we go. Now we are ready to rock and roll. Guys, let's go over the panel real quick. And because we are gentlemen here, okay? We're going to go ahead and talk first and foremost about our guest host today, Senor El Pop. What's going on, fam?
What is up, family?
Buddy?
NYY
My guy.
Yep. Pete, I appreciate the invite, man. This is going to be fun. I'm excited.
Come on. What are you doing? Yeah, come on. We're going to have a good time, all right? From the Bronx, but let me go back. From the most anticipated new podcast, not new, but to NYYU, the Bronx or Nothing, we got Kev and the one, the only, Mario Gomez.
Dímelo. What's up, Chad? What's up, everybody? How we doing on this fine Wednesday night? Here to talk some Yankees baseball. I know you guys are all excited, man. Happy you guys are here to support us. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's go.
Kev? Any introduction? You just
no, le voy a decir a toda mi gente que lo quiero mucho. Oh, I'm not sorry. Hold on. My safety button went off. Sorry, that safety button was off.
Kev, who is that announcer? Who is that announcer that does the siéntate?
That's
my
Dominican.
Favorite.
That's Lidon. That's the way they call out strikeouts and all that. Yeah.
I was watching the Cuban kid that's a free agent, and every time he struck somebody out, he just said siéntate. I love it. Greatest thing I've ever heard.
Sit down. Yeah,
you guys already know that handsome son of a bitch at the bottom. Who am I talking about? Let's see. Hector, my guy.
What it do, my guy? Shout out to the entire NYY familia. Shout out to Kev, Mario, Dayne, and of course, my brother Pete. Can't forget my guy Gio, unpopular opinion as well. But Pete, you put out the bat signal, my guy. You know I answer the bat signal when it's sent out there, bro. So I'm ready for this convo.
I got to do the Avengers Assemble, man. That's how it goes. And then the great Dayne himself, who is not moderating today, he is right here with us because we got to talk some prospects, guys.
Yes, sir.
We got to have Dayne in here. Dayne, what's going on, fam? How you doing, brother?
Well, after Cashman's press conference yesterday, I was thinking about choosing violence, but I'm good.
Well, I'm happy you didn't. I'm happy you're here. Doesn't mean that Dayne may not do an elbow drop on his desk and smash through it live, okay? Doesn't mean that's going to happen.
No.
But guys, we are going to get right into it today. Chat, just so you guys are aware, of course, you all are a part of the conversation, but I please just simply ask, understand with us that we are doing a show with 6 of us here where I'm not always looking at the chat. We will try as much as humanly possible. Super chats obviously alert us. We'll see those. But we definitely want to get to as many questions from you all as possible. But we do want to start somewhere. Before I do that, guys, hit that subscribe button. We are 52 subscribers away. 52 away from 20,000. And we are obviously very, very proud of that. But let's go ahead. Let's get right into it, guys. And first and foremost, we have to do this. I know probably every single one of us has had this conversation many, many times since we listened to Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman speak. But I briefly want to go around the room again and give everybody a chance to discuss this because I feel like it was a terrible day for both gentlemen. I think it came off very, very bad. It was tough to watch. It was, at some points, I kept saying while I covered it live, I don't want to get mad, but I can't help myself after some of the stuff they're saying. So I'm going to throw it over to my guy, UnPop. Lead us off, fam. How did it come out to you?
Oh, it was a shit show, to be honest with you. Like, to be honest, I'm more mad about Hal than I guess I am of Cashman, just because like you kind of expected Cashman to triple down, quadruple down at this point. Why? Because he's been here too long, and he just thinks his poop don't stink. But really, Hal, just after those meetings, after he went on the Michael K show in June, just like I don't understand why fans are upset. It's only June. We have so much baseball left. Then stating, it's going to be big changes if we don't perform well, if we don't make the playoffs, X, Y, and Z. And then just to hear him backpedal and, like just kind of like, piss on our leg and tell us it's raining. It's frustrating, especially from an owner that's just so disconnected from the fan base. Because you can just tell, Michael K talked about like, on his show, he watches every game. He watches every out. Man, if he watched this team last season, he will be just as frustrated as any one of us on this panel, anyone in the chat right now.
Thank you.
So if he hasn't watched a single game, so to me, I'm just frustrated. All in all, I'm not gonna take up too much time, but it was a frustrating day for Yankee fans.
Yeah, and I'm happy you actually bring that up because I think I looked at it. Me and Francis looked at it today. I think overall, including non-Yankee games, we did about 170 games from start to finish. So we covered just about every single New York Yankee game. And yeah, I'm telling you, man, if there was ever a time when it was tough this year, I mean, it's only my second year of doing it. This year was very hard. This team was a hard team to watch. And just to hear the GM come out and go, I think we're pretty fucking good. And I know he's talking about his personnel and all that. I understand that. But read the room a little bit. It's kind of a bad time to say something along those lines. Kev, what'd you think?
So we're talking about how, because Cashman's a different, but I mean, we're talking about how, right? So everybody has, I'm gonna say 90% even on Twitter had the same consensus that he was kind of tone deaf. I mean, to say in the beginning, mid of the year that I don't know why everybody's mad, and now you're saying that winning is a requirement and all this other stuff. It seems like, yeah, we know that, Hal. Like, let's put our money where your mouth is. I know he was there talking, and I felt like UP that some of those questions were softball questions, but I had some notes that some of the things that he said that really intrigued me. For example, him saying, Hal kept alluding to Judge and I. He said it multiple times. Judge and I has talked about this, and we're working on some decisions that may seem minute to others, but big for us. So that's going to be interesting to see. He's also praising Sabian and Minaya.
True.
And what I got the vibe is listen, if I had to pick somebody who's going to replace Cash, because we'll talk about Cash on the Cash topic, but Cash seems to be on the hot seat. I'm looking at Sabian. The way he talked about Sabian and Minaya, Sabian to me seems like that guy. But another thing also he was talking about was the analytics, not a what you call it? What do you call? I'm sorry. An audit, not an audit.
I'm sorry, I got
off the word. Not an audit. Sorry, yeah, not an audit. It's more of a reflection or whatever. And that Fishman was the guy who's hired the company that's going to do it. Imagine you're bad at your job, or you had the worst year of your career, and your boss tells you find somebody to audit you. Who the fuck you think you're going to find? You think you're going to find a guy that's going to be hard on you?
No. You're
going to find your buddy, your pal that you can get a referral, a kickback. You're going to get some money. It's ridiculous, the type of shit that's going on right now. I swear to God, one last thing was him asking about Boone. He asked Nick Swisher and Andy Pettit, and he thinks that Boone's a great manager. So I brought something for you guys because it's kind of like, you guys ready for more cupcakes this season? Because I brought cupcakes for everybody. Because that's exactly what it sounded like.
Hold on.
I mean, that Boone's a fucking great manager.
Hold on.
Are you
Wait a second.
kidding me?
Let me. I gotta get it in right now. I gotta get it in real quick. Here we go.
Under my umbrella.
Here you go, guys.
Hey.
It's another year under Boone's umbrella. That's it.
And I'm gonna leave it at that because it's just crazy what the shit.
Mario Gomez, let us know, fam.
Oh man, at this point, Pete, I just rather these guys not speak, man. It's just like you want to believe that something positive is gonna come out of it, but you hear Hal talk about the Yankees, and there's no way you're a baseball guy, even an owner of the team, spending all this money on your team, and you watch that team this year, and there's no way you're like, we're really good. You could tell the tone from Cashman to Hal was so different, and then on top of that, Hal's like, you know, he says he's a baseball guy. Michael K saying he's watching all the games. Hal's talking about bunting. And then like during the questions, you could tell that they're feeding him like these softball questions. And then this guy's there. He's just like having no idea what he's talking about. He brings up the bunting, the buncher. I thought that was pretty funny. People think it's going to be like all over a shirt now, but I don't know. It just feels like they don't understand the fans' frustration. For what reason? One of the worst Yankee seasons I've ever seen. And I'm a lot younger than you guys, but I mean, this is just unacceptable from the New York Yankees. And it's just like, you want to believe that there's hope, but then you hear this guy speak and it makes you believe even less. And this is the owner of the team we're talking about. He's got all the power, but it feels like at the end of the day, Cashman's the one calling the shots, but the owner's the one that could change that like this, but decides to stay with pretty much the same thing as we know right now. So, I don't know, man. Hal just seemed like he was pretty clueless and when he was being asked those questions. So
let me go, Hector. Let me go to Dayne real quick because Dayne, you got a super chat for you. It says, Dayne, why did the Yankees put Carlos Narvaez on the 40-man and not Ben Rice? Do you see him getting traded or making the team in spring training possibly? Thank you. And then Dayne go right into Steinbrenner.
Narvaez is a major league caliber backup catcher defensively. He could play the position right now. He got added to the 40-man because he was a minor league free agent and he was going to be able to walk away for nothing. They held on to him for the value. They're going to probably look to trade him like they did Donnie Sands 2 years ago, which they did something very similar by putting him on the roster and then trading him with Nick Ramirez to the Phillies. As far as Hal goes, the word to describe it was out of touch. He wasn't realistic, talking about bunting as a big problem. And he gave numbers and it worked out to about 4 or 5 bunts a year that we're supposed to are going to change the team. Seriously? We want accountability from these guys. We want them to say, you know what? Last year was horrible. We did not do a good job, and we are going to do everything this winter to fix it and make us contenders again. And then you go into the Cashman interview, and he seems like a guy who knows he's on the hot seat. He's very, very
100%.
defensive.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very quick to anger, argumentative. And when you got to that, him talking about Torres and Peraza and what lane for the Peraza and all that, he wouldn't even say Josh Donaldson's name. Did we forget about the guy or what's the deal?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just out of touch, all of it, all the way around.
Completely, no doubt about it. Heck. Muted, Heck.
Yeah, mute.
My fault. 100%, right? Like Kev and Dayne said, I wanted to point out the comments that Hal made talking about when referencing him and Aaron Judge, talking about we're going to go through some things are going to get changed. And honestly, I'm not sure if Cashman knew that Hal Steinbrenner was going to say what he said. Yes, a few of the stuff that Hal said was stupid as hell. The whole bunting thing was stupid. The whole not naming players like Josh Donaldson, like Dayne said, was stupid. But I think Cashman was caught off guard, and that's why you saw him struggling to swim. He looked like a fish out of water, answering and being very defensive to those reporters, cursing. What are you cursing for, my guy? Who are you trying to show up? Who are you trying to look
He's been
cool
watching
for?
me too much.
my man was like at a Call of Duty score, bro. Just bullshit shit.
No, I honestly, when he was talking about, oh, people want to label us as just analytics, I thought of that prospect that was on the foul territory.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Ben
Ruda.
Ben Ruda.
Ruda. And then immediately I
Bitter
thought about
boy.
Pete. I honestly thought about Pete because Pete has been saying for the longest that this team is ran that way. And for Brian Cashman just to come out and try to throw shade on Ben Ruda, bro,
Horrible.
Again, who are you trying to impress? The frat boys that come there on the weekends sometimes? And Mario, you know them. They just be cursing for no dumbass reason. Who are you trying to impress, my guy? You're 5'4". You're trying to talk to these reporters like you're going to kick someone's ass. And shout out to Joe Sherman. Sorry for cursing like Brian Cashman, but shout out to Joe Sherman for actually pushing back on Brian Cashman. But like I said, I think he said some comments that, yes, some of them are, like you said, misread the room. Not really addressing the issue, trying to tiptoe around it. But at the same time, I think he put both Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman on notice that if things don't change this season, y'all gonna be gone.
Yeah, no question. I mean, there's just a couple of takeaways for me. Everybody, you know, if a lot of you in here probably saw me live the entire time for both of them, so you know what I thought. But even going back and thinking about it again, there was something very early that stood out to me when it came to Hal Steinbrenner. It's very ugly for an owner, especially if your GM is not there with you, to say you're better off asking Cash that. You are the owner of this club. You better have an idea at least of how to answer that. That is a horrible look for an owner of any business to sit there and go, I can't answer that question. Now, if he's in the room, you can say, Cash, and direct the question to him and let him answer. But if he's not there, you need to step up and be able to know about your business enough that you can answer that question. He wasn't able to. The fact of the matter is also that this team was 82-80, and he decided that he had better things to do than be involved in these meetings is a shit show. That is a disgrace. I don't care what you had going on. You are the boss. You should be there. It's that simple. Whether you felt like, you know, a certain way about letting people be freely able to talk or whatever, and maybe you not being there is a good idea, it's a horrible idea. You know what it tells me? It tells me that the man that is running the ship 100% is Brian Cashman. That's also why he's not fired. Steinbrenner has no idea what the hell to do without Brian Cashman there with him. He has no idea. Listen to when they talk about each other. He doesn't call him Mr. Steinbrenner. Calls him Hal. There's little things like that you could pick up on. When it comes to Brian Cashman, another thing, too, that the Yankees, Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman seem to love to do is they love to throw shade to a dead man, which I find very odd. Every chance they get, they throw shade at George Steinbrenner. Any chance they get, they throw shade at this guy. And I don't know if maybe Hal was abused as a kid or something and he doesn't like his father at all. He hates him. I don't know what shadows are there, what could have happened. I have no clue. But it comes across very bad when fans hear it all the time. We're like, you know what? Even if George had his negatives, we knew he was a Yankee fan. We knew he wanted what was best for the team, even if it was wrong sometimes. We knew he was doing things for what's best for the team, putting all the money back in the club, all those different things. Even the interviews. Look at the contrast of interviews. I put my foot through a TV multiple times, and we're the Yankees. I have a lot of pride in being the owner of this club. I don't get that from Hal Steinbrenner. I get Hal Steinbrenner like, hey, I'm coming into a boardroom and I'm going to throw some numbers around and that's it. I put my feet up and if we win, we win. I don't think you ever would have heard, if George Steinbrenner was even alive today with his mentality, I don't think you would have ever heard him say, we just have to get in. We just got to somehow get in and then we're okay. We'll maybe make it. I don't think you would ever see that. I don't think as Yankee fans, we'd be sitting here right now going, damn, but that Steve Cohen's going to get the better players than us. I don't think we've ever would have said that. But now we do have a little bit of concern with who is running the ship, and rightfully so. And Mario, I think you said this, or you might have retweeted something and wrote it. I think I saw it from you. Is at the end of the day, you know what? All those words don't matter. It's about actions. Let's be real here. Everybody in this chat, me, everybody on this panel, we're going to be jumping for joy if the Yankees have a strong offseason. We're going to be the first ones lining up, and this is why
we're Yankees fans.
We're Yankees. Look, we love this team. We are going to pay to watch this team. That is all there is to it. That doesn't mean that, oh, don't show up. No, if the Yankees don't do the right things, people aren't going to show up. Less and less people are going to show up. That's just fact. But at the end of the day, if the Yankees go out there and put their money where their mouth is, the actions are there, we will support this club. And, Kev, I don't know if everybody got a chance to talk about Cashman, but Kev, do you want to mention anything about Cashman?
Well, no, I thought we were going to do it separate, but yeah, I have a few notes on Cashman, but I just wanted to say, Pete, to your point, I don't know if you picked up on Hal mentioning the company a few times.
Yes.
Instead of organization.
Yes.
Instead of team.
Yep.
Those are words that concern me. I pick up a lot of little things, man, and those are words that concern me coming from an owner. But when it comes to Cashman, I mean, I agree with, everybody said the same thing. He looked like a child out there blaming everybody. Nothing was wrong. All you guys are idiots. We're always right. And Michael K says it a bunch of times. That is the issue what people have with the analytics department, that nobody can talk about them. Look at them talking about everybody was happy that Casey didn't come back. They were talking mad shit about Casey when he got hired, mad shit when he left. Right? Those guys, the second voices of Cashman, the Cashman burner accounts on Twitter. They're all happy that happened. Now they get what's his name?
James Rosen.
James Rosen. Right, and he said he kind of has a similar approach where he likes to hit strikes hard. Right, he doesn't believe in launch angle, but he believes in hitting strikes hard. That's common. There's common sense, and people are like, oh, who used to say that? Dylan Lawson. But yeah, for him to call bullshit on people talking about analytics, bro. So there's either two things: either you run analytically or Boone's a moron.
Bingo.
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
Yes.
And I love, and listen, I'm not gonna sit here and always blame Boone because at the end of the day, players got to execute as well.
Correct.
We know that some of the players are bad. But
Correct.
You can't have it both ways, Cash. Either your manager doesn't know what he's doing, or you guys are running analytically, and that's why you brought another company to see what you guys are doing or how you're evaluating players. That's number one. This really, really irked me, bro. Whatever we say isn't gonna appease anyone. It's what we do. Let's start a hashtag called Walk the Walk. Let's see if they do it, guys in the chat. Start a Twitter hashtag Walk the Walk and at Cashman and the Yankees. Let's see if they actually walk the walk. I'm gonna say this about Cashman. He was at the end. He was talking about the roster looked great at this same time last year. Our roster looked great. It was a World Series contending team / playoff team. You got swept by the fucking Astros. You telling me that you ran it back? You didn't get a left fielder. You lost Benintendi. What are you talking about? This is what I'm saying, that this man is blind.
He's delusional.
When it comes to his ego. It's blinding you. Brian, listen. I don't know if anybody can get a hold of this guy. Your ego is blinding you, bro. It's not you have 20 years of good. You have a lot of good trades in your resume. That is true. And don't talk to me about the bullpen because that's all Matt Blake. Don't talk to me about the bullpen guys that you get. That's Matt Blake. Come on, let's be honest. So listen, man, you gotta step up. Take your head out of your ass, because you're cursing now. Let's like big boy pants. We're gonna tell you like big boys. Then get your head out of your ass and start making the right moves, because your ego is blinding you, bro.
And then one thing I want to throw on top of that.
Yeah, me too. After you, Pete, I got a question.
No problem at all. And then of course, guys, we're gonna get into the big part, which is free agency and trades and all that. We got some news going on about that, but I think one of the funniest things that showed how bad Hal Steinbrenner is about talking to the media and his awareness of what's going on is when they asked him about the trades recently that Cashman's made. And he goes, but with all the bad trades that we're making, the Gallo, everybody harps on Gallo, on Donaldson, on this. Now, mind you, these guys he's talking about, they were big trades. They were big trades, and what all did Donaldson come with? $50 million. Then he goes, but people forget the good trades.
Oh, yeah.
Clay Holmes, Trevino. Did you get better with those? You got worse. So no matter if they've been good or not, you got worse. The big trade that needed to happen to execute was poor. And they can't simply just say, you guys are correct. These did not work out. They were bad trades. We have to do better.
But Pete, other playoff teams picked up those players. So
it's
all good.
Oh yeah, because let's be honest here. Apparently they were supposed to retire to make it actually be a bad deal. They were supposed to say, "Oh, the Yankees got rid of me. Time to go home." Mario, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did Joey Gallo get in that bat in the playoffs though? No. Go ahead, Mario.
Nope.
Now I was just gonna ask, maybe I'm missing something that you guys know more than me, but when it comes to Cashman, everybody was saying, he's on the hot seat, this, that, and the third. Maybe he's gonna lose a little bit of power if the Yankees have another stinker of a season. But what makes everybody think that Cashman's gonna be fired if the Yankees go 82-80 again? I just want to know, because everybody says that Cashman's running the show. So if the Yankees have another season like that, what makes everybody think that, everything, how is gonna change everything immediately? Because back-to-back seasons like that?
Well, I think the reason, and I'm not speaking for everybody here, but I think one of the reasons is because we've never seen Cashman be so defensive. So either
I think it's his ego.
Everybody says
that's just my
opinion. Could be, right? That's what I was gonna say. It could. It's one or two things. One, he really believes wholeheartedly they are the best, and certain things haven't worked, but they are indeed the best. Or he's never had the media, the New York media, the fan base all going, bro, you are to blame. Yeah. And he doesn't know. Now he's trapped, and he's fighting back with anything he can. It's either one of those two things. We'll find out.
I mean, you could talk about the owner. He's happy. It's like, Cash was here in Florida for 2 weeks. We're the best.
Working his ass off.
It's like, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. I remember when he said, I said, oh, my God, 2 weeks. Damn.
You didn't work all season, motherfucker.
if I could just add on one more point about Brian Cashman.
Please,
I wanted to say this real quick. When it comes to Brian Cashman, right, he brought up injuries, and like Dayne and like Kev said, when it came to the bullpen, the team is not solely just built on the bullpen. You got other aspects of the team that you got to build into to have an actual team out there. It's not only the bullpen. But when you look at the Atlanta Braves in 2021, Ronald Acuna, they lost for the rest of the season. Who did they get? Yep. They got 4 outfielders. Jock Peterson helped the Braves beat the Brewers, right? Eddie Rosario won the NLCS MVP. Duvall hit 2 home runs in the World Series, and Soler won the World Series MVP. All 4 of those guys with mid-season acquisitions. The Braves could have easily been like, you know what? We got to pack it in because our top dog is done for the rest of the year. The Texas Rangers at the trade deadline, Jacob deGrom is down. They went out there, they added Jordan Montgomery. Anytime anyone got injured, they didn't just fold their hands. They went out and replaced those guys. But for some reason, Brian Cashman can't do that.
Yeah, and we got a super chat right here by Victor Epic Warrior. Gallo had a 40% K rate this year at one point. He went 13 for 90, something crazy like that. Cash has to ball out this offseason to back up all of what he said. And another thing I wanna bring up too, based off some of those trades, right? The Texas Rangers just won the World Series, didn't they?
Yep.
They had a team that won the World Series. Did they have their best starting pitcher?
No,
right?
Nope.
Did they trade for Max Scherzer? Mm-hmm. They traded for Max Scherzer. They actually did moves, right? They actually went out there and said, "Oh, I'm not gonna allow injuries to be an excuse." On top of that, Brian Cashman again specifically mentioned injuries as, he there's another hashtag out there. Now he says, "My facts."
Yeah.
Not facts. They're my facts. So if I'm saying it, it's right. It doesn't matter what you guys think. They're my facts. And my facts tell me injuries are the reason we haven't been good. Well, I mean, if we go back to the All-Star break last year, the Yankees are like 2 games above 500 overall. So, I mean, am I blind? I know the Yankees have had injuries, but are they not the New York Yankees? They forgot how to overcome these things?
Yep.
Pete, if I may, real quick, one quick thing before we move on. So I want to touch on Mario's question. Really, I honestly think Brian Cash is feeling this right now because over the last 3 years, he's spending progressively more on this roster. And this team has now taken major steps backwards. 2021, they lost in the wild card. 2022, I think it's probably one of the most embarrassing playoff loss besides, losing the 0-3 to Boston. And then this year, now we have the worst record that we've had in 30 years. So with the $290 million payroll, the man spent $750 million the last 3 years, and we have nada to show for it. I think that's really what's it might be even getting Hal a little bit, where he's, you're my boy and all, but we need to start seeing some results. Because we're approaching $1 billion.
Yeah. Who said
Ugats?
I did.
Who said Ugats?
I always say Ugats. You know that.
Yeah, I got one last point that Jacob brought up. So the Boone's contract is up at the end of the next season. I mean, if you have another season like that, as Hal Steinbrenner, the owner, how do you let Brian Cashman choose the next manager of the New York Yankees?
You can't.
How do you do that?
Conundrum. That's the conundrum right there. Because Cashman got what after this year, 3 more years on his deal after next. So
I want to move on from Cash, but guys, the validity of this comment that's saying that we had a World Series caliber team last year this same time.
Where?
You got swept by the Astros. And then I just want to point this out. The Phillies went to the World Series. They added Trey fucking Turner to their lineup.
Yep.
What did Cashman do? Franchi Cordero?
Did you hear too when he was saying we didn't have a left fielder? Well, bro, whose problem is that? Whose problem is it that you guys didn't have a left fielder? Mm-hmm. Like, I would say this. I think the best word to sum up Brian Cashman yesterday is truly delusional. I feel like delusional just sums it up.
Lost.
You know, he just seems like he's out there. What is that thing called in what's that show? The big Netflix Stranger Things.
Upside down. The upside down. I was literally thinking it. When you were bringing it up.
Or in the sunken place.
Or whatever the hell it is, the dark places of the world. That's where he is. He's just hiding around there, in another dimension, the Twilight Zone, so to say. Mm-hmm. Mario, that's before your time. It was a show. It was a black and white show back in the day.
Yeah, I wasn't even a thought back then, Pete. So don't need to bring me up.
Yes.
Let me go into detail about the Twilight Zone.
We had 13 channels on the TV, Mario. That's all we had. Okay, bro?
No Yes Network?
For the channel.
No.
We had something called bunny ears that gave us signals. All right, bro?
Horses. That's it. Horses. No cars, nothing like that. But let's get into the fun stuff.
The nitty-gritty.
As you guys see the screen next to us here, you got Blake Snell on there right now. I threw some of the top free agents that are available. First and foremost, let's go over some of the news today, and then we're gonna get right into this. Here, I think is one of the pretty big conversations of the day, and I think where the Yankees must start. And I'll read this for you guys, so you guys don't have to try to strain and see it. Andy Martino reports the posting date is not quite set for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but it will be soon. First time the Yankees and the Mets will have a big free agent pursuing in common in the Steve Cohen era, a 45-day window for decision after the posting. But let me just tell you guys this real quick. If he got posted, let's say on Monday, it's not going to happen this way because he's going to meet teams and all that. Mm-hmm. He could be signed in a week. They do not have to wait 45 days. He could be signed once that posting is available. Buster only believes the New York Yankees are going to blow everybody out the water and they're going to sign him. We're going to probably start with him, but I do want to continue on to the other news so I could close some of this stuff out. This is our friend Darius, who became a real fan member today. Thank you, Darius. They do have concerns about Cody Bellinger's history, injuries, and ups and downs. That is from Andy Martino. We're going to talk about Cody Bellinger, of course. And then one of the big ones is news that I've been talking about for a while. I reported this at the deadline last year, that the Yankees and Cardinals had a lot of talks about. I was told last year it was Nolan Gorman and Brendan Donovan, but now it seems more like it's focused on Brendan Donovan, and this could make a lot of sense. I really want to talk a lot about him. And then the last thing is, again, Andy Martino saying that Juan Soto would be the Yankees' first person they'd want to get. They have concerns about Bellinger, as we previously heard, but Soto would be the guy. So I want to start off with the man that is going to play first on our screen right there, and that is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I want to do one thing first, and I want to go around the room. Does everybody agree here that he is the 1A target? He should be the main focus of the New York Yankees. If you don't, just say the name and let's move on. I say he is the 1A. UnPop?
Soto.
Okay. Kev?
Yeah, I'm saying Soto was number one.
Mario?
I'll go Yamamoto.
Okay. Hector?
Same, Yamamoto.
And Dayne?
Yamamoto, 100%.
All right, so let's start there. We're going to start there anyway, and I love the idea of Soto, so I do want to get into why I believe Yamamoto could land a Yankee Soto. I've talked about this a little bit. I think Yamamoto is truly 1A, 25 years old. The statistically, the greatest pitcher to ever come out of Japan. He doesn't seem to have the hype, right? It kind of seems like there's hype there, but it's not like Matsui. It's not like Ichiro. It's not like Ohtani. Whatever reason that is, I don't know. But He has the greatest statistics of a starting pitcher to ever come out of Japan, and it's really not that close. His numbers are beyond belief. If a AAA pitcher did this 3 years in a row, we'd all be shocked because it doesn't happen. So this guy's had well under a 2 ERA. He has won the Triple Crown in Japan 3 years in a row. Again, the best statistical pitcher to ever come out of Japan. Mid-90s fastball, great curveball, great splitter. To me, a must for the Yankees. I do believe he signs for over $200 million. I don't know if I'm as confident as Buster Olney, but I do want to say, and I'm going to go on record here, I believe the Yankees get Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think he will be the Yankees. I don't know if it's the first signing, but I do think the Yankees are going to get him because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how stupid you could be to miss out on this kid. I just don't. And that's why I have to go that route. And why I think he makes sense for the Yankees even more so when it comes to the offseason, it then makes Michael King, it then makes Drew Thorpe, and it then makes Clark Schmidt available via trade. The San Diego Padres need starting pitching. How many guys did he lose in? Three starters?
What is it? Walker,
Yeah, Walker.
Snell.
Martinez. Nick Martinez also left.
Yeah, they need.
So they need pitching badly, right?
Yeah,
The
they have.
The St. Louis Cardinals need starting pitching badly. I just
They need relief
feel-
help too.
And they need relief help. And apparently they were interested in Ron Marinaccio at the deadline. That was actually reported in his article. And
He's
also
still available.
Clayton Beater.
Yeah,
Still
bye.
available. Yeah, he's not doing
Bye.
much right now.
He can go.
He's actually upstairs making a calzone right now for
He's in Tom's
for
River
after
right
this is
now,
over.
hanging out. He's in Tom's
That's it.
River.
But I just feel like it is a very, very logical offseason plan. You go out there, you sign him. You trade for Juan Soto if that trade's going to be on the table. You got Brendan Donovan. Now you look at that Yankees lineup. You go, well, we've added two lefties to go along with Dominguez when he gets back as a switch hitter, to go along with Austin Wells, who I believe it's his job to lose. Now you're talking about a balanced lineup, something the Yankees haven't had in a very long time. I don't know why, but they haven't. And I just think it makes all the sense in the world. Before we move on to UnPop, I want to read two of these super chats. Soto and Yamamoto combine for Josh Donaldson's age. Okay. Aaron Boone is in the chat, says, can't wait to pull Yamamoto in the fourth inning.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Arson. It's Arson Boone.
Arson Boone. Okay, Arson Boone, my bad. Aaron Rodgers says, I think we're pretty effing good. Cashman must be a new hire for NYYU because that would be the only way he would be right about that. Well, he's not. But anyway, thank you so much for that. Let's go to my guy, UnPop. UnPop, Yamamoto, Soto, what are you looking like for the Yankees offseason?
No, so I want to preface this as saying I do want Yamamoto too. My concern is partly what you said, Pete, where it's that the Padres need pitching. So I don't think, my gut is telling me that they're not going to wait to see if someone gets Yamamoto to go ahead and potentially move Soto if they need to. I'm worried about someone else swooping in while everyone's distracted with Ohtani, everyone's distracted with Yamamoto, everyone's distracted with some of these other players where they can swoop in and steal Soto. And yes, we can pivot now to Yamamoto, but he has an option of who he wants to go to. So with a trade, you can kind of force a player on your roster, and we really need and desperately need that bat in the lineup. Right after the trade is official, I don't even care about doing an extension with Soto. We move right on to Yamamoto, and then we make that happen. But that's just my reasoning behind why Soto is number one. I don't want him to slip through to the Mets. Don't want him to slip through to Boston. I don't want to slip, to any other team that needs a big lefty bat. And then we're sitting there holding our cojones again, sitting there. Why can't we hit?
Mm-hmm. I agree, Kev.
Right.
The reason I'm going Soto as well is just agreeing with Pop 100%. The offense is just so bad. It is so bad that you desperately need. And listen, I feel like there's guys that are built to play in New York, and for sure, Juan Soto for me is built to play in New York. So is Fernando Tatis. There's guys that have it.
Boom.
That they don't care where they are. They don't care about anything. They'll play anywhere. And that kid, I mean, you saw Soto in the World Series at age 20. He's 100%. There's no pressure is going to be here playing in New York. Him being ahead of Judge gives Judge the RBI potential of a lifetime. He gets on base at a 40% clip. You can't beat that. I mean, it doesn't matter. A lot of you guys love walks. Well, he walks a shit ton. There you go. So that being said, listen, I just imagine having Soto, the Martian, and Judge in August. That is insane, bro. Like that is mind-boggling. So that and also because I mean a lot of people haven't talked about him, but everybody's gonna be in for Yamamoto. The Mets have been scouting him for a lot. It's gonna be interesting, like you said, to see Cohen and Hal go at it first time. But there's a kid. I know you guys saw him if you saw the WBC, Roki Sasaki.
Yeah, of course.
That's that kid. I believe he's going to get posted. He's going to be a lot younger. I think he's going to be 23, 24.
Yeah, he'll be about 2 or 3 years away.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, that's another guy that if we lose out on Yamamoto, trust me, there's another guy back there that's going to be very, very interesting. So I'm going to go with Soto and yeah, man, we just desperately need offense, Pete.
Respect.
I feel you. Let me go to these super chats real quick. I think we had a couple here. Michelino says we need I think he meant dominant winter, fellas. I agree with that. Aaron Rodgers says my dark horse for Soto is Seattle. They have an abundance of pitching and they need another bat. Man, put him with J-Rod out there. That'll be something to watch. I don't want to see that too much. Mario, go ahead. What are you thinking of the first big moves of the offseason?
I just see Yamamoto as first because he is the table setter for him, for the Yankees. So Rodon's your number 2, right? He's immovable. He's not going anywhere. You put Rodon as 3, you take pressure off him. 3 and 4, I think the Yankees could figure it out. They're 3 and 4. And I understand we need bats, but hear me out. You get Yamamoto early in the offseason. Then some of your bullpen pieces, Clark Schmidt, Michael King, can trade him for Juan Soto. And I know there's going to be a lot of teams in for Soto. I don't think the Padres are in a rush to trade him. That's why I see Yamamoto as 1A, because you get that starting pitch. You got those 3 locked up, 1, 2, 3, and you see in the playoffs, I don't think you need 5 starting pitchers. You get those 3, and then you get, your number 4 pitch as well. And obviously, where the Yankees are right now, we should just be talking about improving the team, not playoffs yet, but we know the end goal is always winning the World Series. But you get Yamamoto as your 2 with Garrett Cole. That's pretty good. Rodon, he had a tough year, but him as a 3, I think he'll be much better. The pressure will be off him. And he can't be as bad as he was last year. If he's as bad as he was last year, the Yankees are going to be in big trouble. But I think he'll bounce back. But that's why I see Yamamoto as 1A. You get the starter, and then you can move some of the guys out of the bullpen. Michael King, Clark Schmidt, etc.
No question. Makes sense. We got a couple of more super chats here. We got one from David Miser says, Brendan Donovan trade for Cardinals. Would that loosen up a trade to include Torres and pitching for Soto? Last year for Torres contract anyways. I don't see that for San Diego. I don't see them being interested in Gleyber Torres in something like that. I think if Torres, we're going to get the Gleyber Torres definitely. Michelino says he meant Dominican plus Japanese would be Dominicese, I guess, is what I meant. Okay. Vinny says, Cash, we have Soto at home. Soto at home is Oswaldo Cabrera. Okay. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's not the case. Heck, what are you thinking?
You're muted, Heck.
You're muted, Heck. Hello, mío.
Está mutado, güey.
Perdón, I'm sorry about that. The saxophone outside caught me off guard. But we got 307 people in the building, and there's only 113 likes. What are you guys doing?
Hit those likes up,
that like
boys.
button for
Smack
your
you the
boy.
likey.
All right, smacky the likey, hit of the subby, get us to 20K. Shout out to the
51
best,
away, baby.
one of the best communities, if not the top in the entire Yankee fandom. But no, Kevin and Gio, they made great points. Mario as well when you talk about it. But I'm with you, Pete. I think Yamamoto, he will get posted and he will sign within that first week, right? When it comes to Juan Soto, this is going to get dragged out, right? Because if you're Scott Boras, you're going to want to see what the market is when it comes to both Shohei Ohtani and when it comes to Blake Snell. That's what you want to see before you sit down and have any contract negotiations when it comes to Juan Soto. So when it comes to Yamamoto, I think that is the first one that's going to fall off the chessboard because Blake Snell wants to see what Yamamoto gets. That way he can set the market for himself. Being the NL favorite to win the Cy Young Award, he's going to want to see what some other Japanese player that gets that never pitched in the major leagues. If he gets 220 million, I definitely got to get something close to 280 or 300 million. So that's why it's going to take time when it comes to both Juan Soto because they're going to drag it out and wait to see what the other guys get. Because if Shohei Ohtani gets $500 million, right? I'm just saying hypothetically. Blake Snell gets 280. You could argue and say, listen, I know Shohei is not going to be pitching, but look at what Blake Snell got and try to set the market when it comes to Juan Soto for a contract extension.
No doubt about it. Very valid points. Dayne, drop the knowledge on us, man.
Well, Yamamoto and Soto, for me, are both necessary. They both need to happen. But for the reasons these other guys said, I believe Yamamoto goes first. And by getting Yamamoto, he opens up, at only 25 years old, he opens up you to trade from the bullpen, from the rotation, and also from the farm system. We have a large group of major league ready starting pitchers that we can move on that have a lot of value to get Soto, to get those other bats to make us better this year. So that's why I go over Yamamoto first. But you have to get Soto. If you look at the left-hand free agent bats coming up the next few years, the next big bat really is Murakami. And we can't wait for that.
And you also don't know what he's going to be. You know, he has to really get himself back on the map. He took a bit of a dive this year. A lot of bad conditioning. His team sent him home for being out of shape. Yep. So those are a little bit of concerns right there when it comes to that's going to be a big one. But Dayne, I want to stay on you for a second. Who are some of those big minor league starting pitchers for the Yankees that are close that you believe teams are going to be interested in?
Will Warren would be the first name. He might even be the top starting pitcher in this system. He's the closest. He had 8 starts right at the end of the year where he pared down his pitch package from 7 to 4. And he was absolutely phenomenal once he did that. Clayton Beeter is another guy I'm not quite as high on, but he is a viable major league starter for somebody. Then you have guys like Richard Fitz, Luis Gil, Yoendris Gomes, and then you get into the Thorpes, the Hamptons. There's a lot of guys in those upper levels. And if you have Cole, Rodon, and Yamamoto signed for multiple years, that means there's 2 rotation spots. Some of those guys instantly become movable because we're not going to have the places to use them.
And Dayne, can you recently had an update on Luis Gil. Can you share that with everybody?
Yes. I was told Luis Gil had worked his way back to the velocity he was pre-Tommy John surgery, that he got up to 101.7 in instructs, that he's added a cutter. And his biggest problem was his changeup. He used to throw a straight changeup. He is now throwing a circle change, from what I was told. That has more 8 to 10 mile an hour difference from his fastball instead of the 3 to 4 it was with the straight change. So he might be another rotation piece that we've already seen in the major leagues.
Or he could be one of the most dominating bullpen pieces that we've had for a while. But
I heard Cutter. Cutter, and I'm like,
we're definitely gonna get to all that. But now I got to put everybody on the spot real quickly. This is what we're gonna do today. That's what this show's about. And chat, you guys join us. So I want to see you guys say it. Before I get there, let me answer these super chats real quick. This is from Macho King, our good friend. Let me play this for Macho King real quick.
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
King, how you doing,
says,
bud?
Trash Can is a total jabroni, trying to be a tough guy in a pink golf shirt. He's getting elbow dropped. He better get Yamamoto and Soto. Oh, yeah. All right. Victor Epic Warrior says ALCS Game 6. Yankee season is on the line. Who do you trust? It's insane how the hitting philosophy works in the regular season, then goes to shit in October. They need elite hitters, reduce money to sign Soto. I think the only starting pitcher on the Yankees now that I would trust is Garrett Cole. I don't think there's anybody else.
Yeah.
Fortunately, yeah.
Right.
I'd like to see Mike King, but
I can't wait to see King. But we're again going to get to him because, I think there's going to be a lot of teams also asking for Mike King this offseason. But here we go. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We are putting everybody on the spot right now. This is it. I'm not going to hold you to it. We don't know. But chat, And everybody here on this panel, simple yes or no. Come opening day, March 28th, is Yoshinobu Yamamoto a New York Yankee? I will start, and I say yes, he is a New York Yankee. UnPop.
My mind, my heart want to say yes.
But your body?
My body.
My body is saying he's going to be a Met.
Boo.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boo.
All right. Okay.
I'm wholeheartedly the same way. My mind is telling me no. Yeah.
But your body is telling you. we're gonna do this with everybody. We gotta, and the crazy thing is, if you guys look at the chat real quick, there's a lot of yes and no's.
Yeah,
back
it's
and forth,
50-50.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It goes to show you what we feel about the Yankees ownership, because we know if George, I know people hate saying it. If George was here,
There's a yes
I think
over
there'd be
there.
a lot
Easy
more
yes.
yeses in there. Mario, yes or no?
It just tells you a lot, man, P, how we actually feel about the Yankees with people saying
Yes.
no. But I'm going to go yes, just because the Japanese market, they want a guy. They're still the New York Yankees, somewhat. Hal Steinbrenner's got money. He's not, don't be cheap, Hal. Get Yamamoto. I say yes, he'll be a New York Yankee.
Heck.
Yeah. Brian Cashman, if you want to save your job, getting Yamamoto is one of the first moves you're gonna have to do. If that man wants to save his legacy or whatever legacy he has, you can't strike out on this. So I'm gonna say yeah.
Dayne.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do a poll real quick. But Dayne, go ahead. Say whatever you're gonna say.
No, I just think that with Hal, Daly, Cashman, and Manaea at the game when he threw the no-hitter, that's
Good juju.
so hard not to how could you not sign him after seeing that? Plus, for Hal, he's an investment because
Bingo.
he's going to bring in more money than what he costs on
Correct.
an annual basis.
And
Hard to turn that down.
Yeah, and before you go any further on that, Dayne, that's part of my belief, is that I do believe that Steinbrenner cares about money, making it. I mean, who's the better guy to make you money that's a free agent? There's nobody.
Bingo.
There's no, unless it's Ohtani, and I don't think they're getting Ohtani. I don't even feel the need to talk about Ohtani, to be honest. We very much can, but I don't see the Yankees being involved in that at all. Even Cashman's answer yesterday, he was kind of like, I don't know if I can answer. Next question.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the Yankees haven't had that Japanese star in a while, and it is a shit ton of money. They make bank.
That's what
They
Hal
make
loves.
bank on it.
Buku.
And I just feel like for them, especially in a time where, Dayne, you remember I tweeted this last February. I was told the Yankees absolutely love Juan Soto, and that was regarding free agency. If you're going to sign Juan Soto, I mean, who better to have this year start up with a guy that's going to bring you a shit ton of revenue? And then Soto's going to do the same thing. These are just very logical moves for the Yankees. So around
And
the
they
board
are the
again,
same
we had,
age.
I said yes. UnPop said
Yes.
no. Kev said no.
Nay.
Mario said yes. Dayne said yes. And Hector said yes.
Yes.
All right. And then the chat, let's see where we are on the poll.
Democracy.
58% says yes. 42% says no. So it's still kind of up in the air a little bit.
Hey, these are my facts, okay? Okay.
Yeah, these are your facts. Everybody remember, it doesn't matter if you're wrong here. It's your facts, okay? Hashtag my facts.
I swear to God, I wish I could have used that back in college. I would have had like a PhD in some shit by now if I would have been able to use that. But I just want to add just one thing about Yamamoto. I think a lot of people are questioning, will he be able to transition over here to the States because of the different style of playing, stuff like that. One thing you got to know is that that man has a nasty sweeper. He didn't throw it that much over in the MPB because in the MPB they have more left-handed hitters than they do in the MLB. And then sweepers to a left-handed hitter is just a batting practice fastball. So over here in the States, having to face more right-handed batters, that sweeper is going to kill for about the first 2 months of the season until the league figures him out.
And I just want to throw this out there too, because I want to make sure the chat truly understands when I talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto having some of the greatest stats that you will literally ever see in baseball. That it's not an exaggeration. It's not like he had a decent year or two. I just want to read these off really quickly, and then we're going to move on to Juan Soto, which is obviously the big one here. 2021, 193 innings pitched. The guy's ERA was 139. Another thing is he gave up 7 homers only. Next year, following that, 193 innings. He had a 168 ERA. He gave up 6 homers. This year, 164 innings, 121 ERA, and he gave up only 2 home runs. So I don't know any pitcher that I could relate to and go, who's ever been that dominating? And let's remember here, it's basically AAA in Japan. Nobody in AAA puts up these numbers. So it's very hard to sit there and go like, I think this guy would be a bust. I think it'd be pretty good. Is he going to be a 121 guy in American League East? Probably not. Probably not. But I think he'll have a chance of being very good. So Juan Soto time. First, I don't want to immediately go into the yes or no's if the Yankees are going to get him. I want to talk about the importance. And we did that. We touched it a little bit. But I want to go into that a little more as, of course, he's the guy on the screen right now. Look at that swing that is tailor-made for Yankee Stadium and really anywhere in baseball. Juan Soto, and I'm gonna make mine really quick. I don't give a poot that he's not a good left fielder, according to some people. They bring up, oh my God, defense. I don't give a poot. We had Jake Bauers in left field. I don't care. We didn't have a left fielder. We could have had a bag out there. Somebody could have threw a chicken tendy bucket on the field. Throw the chicken tendies in the chat, by the way.
Hey, I love a chicken tendy.
And that's it. This is all I'm going to leave it at. On base percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
UnPop, go ahead.
I mean, just look at that swing. Like, it's just...
It's sexy. Say it. It's sexy.
It's sexy as fuck. And it's tailor-made for Yankee Stadium. 82 games, this man with a short porch. Just imagine the damage he can do. And you could play the lineup construction and domino up and down, but just imagine him in front of Judge or him protecting Judge. That's the most dynamic 1 and 2 you're probably gonna get in the game right now. Both from the right hand side and the left hand side. Both of these guys could touch the porch. Like I don't know, it's a no brainer. There's never been an easier layup than Juan Soto than Bryce Harper. And we missed on him, and this is the opportunity. It's like the baseball universe saying, okay, Cashman, you effed up on Bryce Harper. I'm giving you an opportunity to go younger. Yep. And get a just as dynamic bat. And I don't know. If you missed this, I don't know. He's not determined to win.
I agree. Kev, you've been talking about him for a long time. What do you think?
Juan Pacheco Soto. My guy, de lo mío, aguacate power, 100%. My dad was going to go crazy. You saw Soto, man? Listen, it's just like you guys say, Yamamoto, right? This kid is box office. I mean, the amount of alcohol the Yankee Stadium is going to sell alone, all the Dominicans and Latinos going back. I mean, we're still there, but we're going to go more now. Now the casuals are going to come in, right? The ones that drink more, right? Forget about it. It's a no-brainer, but... No, when it comes to Soto, listen, I want to say something because Cashman is on the hot seat. We passed up on a lot of guys. I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to have a migraine by the end of the night. But when's the last? I'll just say this: what's the last great hitter that Cashman signed in free agency? Shout out to Ryan who texted to make sure we said that. You guys have an idea?
What do you guys think it is? Free agency
that we signed in free agency.
Yeah.
Mark Teixeira, Gary Sheffield.
I was going to say that.
Mark
Teixeira.
I mean, it's like Cashman has the moment, in the Avengers, they went backwards, right? Right now, Cashman has an opportunity to go backwards and erase all the fuck ups he's done before by getting Soto to New York. You get Soto to New York with the guys that are obviously Dominguez. I'm loving Ben Rice. We're gonna hear Dayne talk about our prospects. There's some guys in the minors that are making some loud noise. And you might finally have the mix that you've been looking for with veteran players and young talent. Yep. So Cashman has a huge opportunity to erase his wrong, and I believe Juan Soto is that ticket.
Bingo.
I agree. 100%, man. Great. I mean, look, I knew Kev was gonna drop the mic when it came to talking about Juan Soto, no doubt about it. But the other guy who also might drop the mic is my guy, Mario. Mario, come on, man. You talked a lot about if the Yankees get Soto. Let's hear it.
No pressure, man. Juan Soto doesn't know what pressure is, man. He's not scared of the lights in New York City. And I want to say this one thing real quick. Pete, our guy, Masataka Yoshida. And I know Kevin is tired of hearing his name because he's with Boston. All I heard from Yankee fans, they were like, why do you want Yoshida? He's a slap ball hitter. He has bad defense. First fly ball he got at Yankee Stadium, man, it's a diving catch. I remember it. First game at Yankee Stadium, and I'm like, dude, I don't care about his defense. If Soto's an average defender, man, we need his bat. We need this guy's bat. We need his flair. I want to be fun again, man. Don't you want a team that's watchable? Like, Judge is cool, man. I love, the captain, no bat flip, none of that. Plays the game the right way and all. We need a star, man. We need a guy with that firepower. Mangul, aguacate, lo que sea, man. We're gonna be in New York City. We're gonna be in the Bronx, man. We're gonna be having a good time. The Dominican's gonna show up, the casuals, everything. How you want that money? You get this guy here. And listen, I know people worry. San Diego is not New York. He's not scared of the lights, man. Check out what the kid did in the World Series when he was younger, right? He's entering his prime, not even there yet. About to enter his prime. Obviously, the negotiations when you trade for him, hopefully when the Yankees do trade for him, you lock him up in that room. You're like, listen, you're Juan Soto, man. What do you want? You're the Yankees, man. The Yankees make so much money off fans, off everything, off the Yes Network. Like, man, how? Do it. You have to get this guy in the Bronx. I don't care about his defense. Please don't mention his defense shot. I can't listen to it.
Mary, I'm not going to cut you off. I want you to keep going, but this just goes right into what you said. Uncle Tats, our good friend, just put in the chat. Using defense as an argument against it is ridiculous. We had IKF in the outfield, for God's sake. Yo. He's right. Please. So Mario, continue, but that was like perfectly spot on at the same time you said it.
Nah, man, it just drives me nuts. Like, I mean, we had Oswaldo. They put him in right field, left field. I mean, they didn't know what they were doing in left field, man. They had Willie Calhoun out there. Like Pete says, poor Willie Calhoun. Poor Willie Calhoun there in left field. Like, come on, man. I know the center field. We'll talk about the center field in a bit, but you get a nice center fielder, good defensive center fielder. I don't care if he's average in left field. We'll figure it out. We need this guy's bat. And check out his stats. People were like, he had a down year. He'd lead the Yankees in RBIs on a down year, okay? So, don't miss me with that.
I'm just sitting here saying, am I missing something?
Career high in home runs, but it was a down year. Okay.
In San Diego.
Yeah.
Mind you. I mean, I don't know what I'm missing here. 400 plus on base percentage, 30-something home runs. I mean, these same people saying that we're in love with Joey Gallo. Where is he?
I mean, I genuinely think that people don't watch West Coast baseball. I know it's late, but I stay up and I watch San Diego. I like watching Manny Machado. I'm Dominican. I like watching Machado. I like watching Soto. Just watch what the guy does. Look at his at-bats throughout the season. Yeah. 35 and 105 on a down year, and people are like, I wouldn't pay this guy crazy money. Like, come on, man. He's entering his prime.
As Hirsch just said, Soto would bring more flair than Ric Flair. So that is absolutely that is absolutely spot on, no doubt about it.
Saki plus Mangu.
There you go.
That's exactly what it is. Yamamoto action. And we're going to get to any second on if we would, if the Yankees going to get him, we're going to have to put us on the spot, as what the show is. But my guy, the one, the only Hector, let us know, brother.
Kev, you forgot some important parts while breaking down Juan Soto, right? From a Capital, right? On top of it, mother Belkis Pacheco and father Juan Jose Soto. We can't forget the families involved. The mother and father. No, but
the mothers.
When it comes to Juan Soto, shout out to the mothers. Smack that like button for your mother.
I'm gonna take a shout out to the guy for that.
There you go.
Yes.
But Pete. I've said it, when it comes to Juan Soto, he will bring that swagger that Reggie Jackson brought back to the Bronx, right?
God.
And you get Juan Soto in the Bronx, put the Patalillo lady in the stands and start selling Patalillo, start selling Chinola at the bar as well. Get the chicharron, put it in the popcorn bag, and start selling it. I'm going to tell you this right now. The Yankees get Juan Soto's, those casuals that go to Yankee Stadium will hate us. They're the same people that moved to Inwood and complained to 311 to get a lot of these lounges shut down. But they would hate what they would hate the amount of fanfare that Latinos would bring inside of Yankee Stadium. And on top of it, you talk about Juan Soto, horrible defense. I'm sorry. Did the Yankees have like 20 years in a row with guys in left field winning the Gold Glove? Did we have any left fielders over the past 20 years get nominated for a Gold Glove? Am I missing something?
I'll stop you right there, and I'll just say, right? Gary Sheffield wasn't a great outfield, had a great arm. Hideki Matsui wasn't a great outfield, had a decent arm. Come on now, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but please continue.
No. But when it comes to Juan Soto, you cannot just look at his stats and say you don't want him because of his defense. Because like you just said, right? Hideki Matsui wasn't the greatest outfielder. Bernie Williams was phenomenal back in his heyday, but as he gotten older, he regressed a bunch. So we had bad outfielders before. Like you said, Gary Sheffield. Juan Soto, if you look at his stats, in the years that he has been in the major leagues, only 2 of those seasons, or 1 of those seasons, he finished with under 400 OPS. An on-base percentage.
Unbelievable.
He is a 400 plus on base percentage machine. And if you put him in front of Aaron Judge, I guarantee you Aaron Judge won't lead the league in solo home runs like he did for the past few years, because he will have someone getting on first base 40% of the time.
And then think about this too, right? Because, the Yankees always talking about thinking ahead, right? We got to think ahead. Imagine a 1-2-3 punch of Dominguez, Soto, Judge.
Another guy who has great play discipline.
Another guy that gets on base. Exactly. Got a couple of super chats to get to them. We're going to get to Dayne. Aaron Rodgers says, Brugal shots for my boy Mario. Come on, Cash. We have Victor again says, look what the Phillies did to compensate for Knicks defense. Soto and Stanton would carry the Yankees in October. I put that on my mom. He loves the porch. Rod Thompson. Shout out to our brother Rod Thompson.
Rob,
Here's
what's
a
up,
question. He says, if the Yankees somehow, by the grace of God, were able to acquire both Soto and Machado, who would you be willing to give up? Is Dominguez worth that price? That's a fun question to talk about.
Oh, wow.
That's a fun question to talk about. Both of those guys, and all you do is give up the Martian. I made a lot of Martian merch, so I hope not. But, damn. I mean, hey, the fans could very well put us on the spot. That's okay. The supporters in the chat. Both of those guys, and we lock up both of them. I don't know how you say no.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you say no to that. And look, for one, I think it's tough. But if you get both of them and you lock both of them in long term, I mean, Machado already would be. But if you could guarantee that Soto's locked in long term with Aaron Judge and with Cole, that you got to win now, and maybe Yamamoto. I don't know.
Yeah, that's insane.
I don't know how you say no to that.
I would, the Martian, I love you, man, but
Yeah,
I would fly him out.
Yeah.
I would fly him out for Manny Machado and Juan Soto. Like,
Yeah, that's
I'm
too
sorry.
big.
yeah,
That's too
like-
good. Yeah,
But
way
that's
too
not
good.
gonna happen, Martian.
It's
You're gonna
not,
come back
no,
in
it's
July
not
and you're
gonna
gonna
happen.
rake. You're gonna rake.
Exactly.
With
You'll
Juan
be in that
Soto,
lineup
so
with
it's
Juan
not-
Soto.
He was.
Your
I
big
saw
brother.
him the other day. He's out there. She's shopping for shoes, and he got the big ass RoboCop
Club.
arm going
Yep.
on. I'm like, I like it. I like
He's
it.
probably in the chat right now, so I don't want
He
to
is.
make him
I want
upset,
that
man.
power.
Shout
That'll
out,
make
shout out to
Yeah.
Jason. He's out there looking like Ron Gronkowski looked when he had that big ass elbow
Yeah,
pad with the
yeah.
Patriots.
Yep, facts. Dayne, tell
Yes.
us about Soto, man. Come on now.
You guys said it all. 1, 2, 3 of Dominguez, Soto, Judge. We'd have more first inning leads than we've had in the last 10 years. Soto gets on base 40% of the time. We always argue about Judge not driving in enough runs. You put Soto in front of Judge, that problem's taken care of.
Boom.
What is there not to like about Juan Soto? He's 25 years old. You can build around him for 12, 13 years. He's the same age as Austin Wells, that whole core of Volpe, Peraza, Dominguez. He fits right in with that. Why would you not want a guy with World Series experience leading that group?
Facts.
He would be the mentorship to that group.
Yeah.
He's perfect for that.
Yep. And another thing too that, I actually got it. There's a rumor out there that was just reported by Chris Henrique. I'm gonna throw it on the screen for you guys. Maybe we'll all get a little laugh about it. Some of us might like it. But what you're saying there, Dayne, too, I think the Yankees do have to work with a bit of urgency also. That's kind of something that's another word that we've talked about a lot, right? Listen, at the end of the day, there's already, beat writers writing things out there that Garrett Cole may have made the wrong decision, that he may have wished he went to the Angels because the Angels are going to be better than the Yankees. I'm like, whoa, let's dial it back a little bit there. Let's put a little respect on this man's name. He is going to win a Cy Young. I gave this guy a lot of shit last year when he's giving up more homers than Andrew Heaney. I gave him a lot of shit. He bounced back and said, hey, you guys want to get Rodon? Great, but I'm the dog. I'm the man. And I'm going to prove it to everybody how I am the man of this staff. And he was. He went out there, he shoved all year, and he is going to win the Cy Young Award. Let's get this guy a ring. Let's work very urgent and get this guy a ring. Aaron Judge cannot be the next Don Mattingly. He can't do it. No. Can't do it. Got to get him a ring. I'm going to throw this on the screen real quick because as we get news in, we'll discuss it. I'll get to the super chats. Chris Henrique reports Red Sox may not be actively shopping outfielder Alex Verdugo. There is indeed interest in him. One of the teams are the New York Yankees. And I reported this in spring. Dane, you remember this?
Yes.
There was a rumor out there Nestor Cortez for Verdugo was on the table in spring training.
And then at the deadline, they were talking about Schmidt
for him. So the Yankees have been after Verdugo, it seems like, for a little bit of time. So I believe that this is actually 100% legit because I've again heard this multiple times now. So again, as we get things in the moment, he's not the best option. But I think if it's one of those guys where Soto eventually isn't traded and there's other guys available, maybe it's something you look at. I don't know how to feel about that one, to be honest. We'll go around the room real quick, and then we're going to be put on the spot when it comes to Juan Soto being a Yankee on opening day. UnPop, let's make it quick about Verdugo real quick. Yeah. What do you think, yes or no?
I think I already told you my thoughts about it. I don't mind Verdugo on the Yankees. He just can't be underneath Boone's tutelage. Like Boone is gonna, Boone's gonna let this man run amok in New York City. It's gonna be a clusterfuck in the clubhouse. So for that reason, no. Okay. But if he wasn't here, I would like Verdugo on the team.
Okay. Kev.
No, and I'm just gonna reference Flex Seal. That's what you're giving me. The Yankees offense is leaking with a huge horn. You're gonna slap a fucking Flex Seal slap on it, and no, I don't want that motherfucker here. Plus, his gold teeth annoys me.
Okay, under the bright lights, even worse. Mario, what do you think?
Nah, yeah, I would probably stay away as well. I'd rather one of the guys from maybe the Cardinals or something just stay away at this point. I just think he's just made to be a Red Sox with the beard and everything. The situation with the fans throwing the baseball at him, I think it was like 2 years ago or so. I don't think it'd go well. I don't think he's a great clubhouse guy. Stuff off the field isn't great, so I don't want a distraction on the team. Just go get another left fielder that's not Verdugo. Keep him away.
It confuses me that none of you guys want to get the best player that was in the Mookie Betts deal. Like you don't want to get that player because I guarantee you that is something that Brian Cashman would say to justify trading for Alex Verdugo. He was the best player that came back in the Mookie Betts trade. How can you say no? For me, it's a hard pass when it comes to Verdugo. Not a fan of him. He's a solid baseball player, but I think, like Mario said, just the history he has with the fan base. And I know there's been Red Sox that made that transition from playing in Boston, then coming to the Yankees. Johnny Damon is the first one off my head. But I don't think it will work out here with Verdugo in the Bronx. So I'll pass on him.
Dane?
Hard pass.
That's it? Hard pass. Okay.
Yep. I like it. I like it.
We got a super chat from Vinny. He says, how would Faint see in those contracts? Talking about the Yankees getting Soto and Machado. Aaron Arson Boone says, yeah, but can Soto bunt?
Oh, my God.
Medina said, can Verdugo bunt?
See, that the Yankees they shoot themselves in the foot because that's going to be a joke all year. No, and everybody's going to be talking about that. Our friend Jonathan Alvarez says, I think because Judge and Hal are working together, they very well may get Yamamoto, and Cashman spazzed yesterday because he is taking GM power from him. I don't know if Judge is becoming a GM, but I definitely think he has a pretty loud voice in the ear of Hal Steinbrenner, no doubt about it. So here we go. The fans have answered this one. Everybody in the chat has answered this one before us. The chat is in favor. They believe that come opening day, 55% to 45% says Juan Soto will be a New York Yankee. I'm going to go to Dane first. I'll go last. Dane, opening day comes around. Is Juan Soto traded to the New York Yankees from the Padres?
Yes.
Wow. What is Dane, you're the prospects guy. What's the deal?
I would start with Clark Schmidt or King. I think it's probably going to be King. I would offer Nestor, Ian Hamilton, and Spencer Jones.
I could get it done. Heck,
I like it.
Yes, and basically everything that Dane just said when it comes to the package. I was gonna say earlier when people was talking about Michael King. Yes, I can't wait to see Michael King being the opening day starter for the San Diego Padres. I can't wait for that because that means Juan Soto was in the Bronx. So I'm saying yes on that one. Dane, great package put together.
Mario?
Man, I wish, but I don't think so. The only reason why I think he'll be traded to the Yankees, the trade deadline, that's when I think he becomes a New York Yankee. My biggest thing is, I think the Yankees call him, obviously, have talks. There's going to be a lot of interest from the Yankees. But my gut just tells me that Brian Cashman is going to be like, the price is too steep. Let's be honest, just the way that it's worked the past couple of years with him. He's going to say the price is too steep. We're not going to pay this for a 1-year rental. And then I think Judge, Hal have to step in at the deadline and find a way to get this guy to the New York Yankees because they're going to realize that Judge is having another great season. I think Cole's going to have another great season. Hopefully, Judge staying healthy. And they're like, listen, this guy can put us over the top. But no, I don't think he's a New York Yankee on opening day.
Okay.
Love that fan fiction.
Kev?
I'm going to say yes. And the reason I'm going to say yes is because of the Padres situation. And him being in arbitration, he's going to make $30 million at least. So they just took a $50 million loan because of the situation they're in, right?
They wanted $100 million, by the way. MLB said no.
Yeah. So that being said,
I didn't know that, Pete.
Yeah, the situation that they're in, they may be bluffing as much as they want, but somebody in the Padres uniform is getting dealt. And if it's not, it has to be Soto. And if it's not Soto, it's Fernando Tatis. And I'll take any of them. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
All right, UnPop.
Hashtag my facts. Yes.
You guys with the my facts.
My facts. Hashtag my facts. My fact is gonna be yes. I am staying with the Yamamoto because I can't go off of what I said my blueprint was gonna be, and that is my blueprint to get the New York Yankees back to the promised land where they need to be, even with. I hate saying it, but I feel like, and a shout out to my brother Francis Lee, by the way, who is doing an amazing job on his return to NYYU. And Francis said this to me years ago. He said, Pete, I think it was the wild card game when the Yankees got eliminated in Boston, when Cole got lit up. And he said, Pete, I'm sorry to say it. I know you always say the Yankees will never win with Cashman and Boone. But I think they got to have a great offseason and they got to win in spite of them. I think that's their only chance is by loading up this team. That's the only shot they have. And maybe he's right. So I am a yes. I think the Yankees are going to pull off a trade. Another reason why. Sean Casey has said on multiple occasions now, the Yankees need a lefty. And the two guys are Bellinger and Soto. Those are the two names he continues to mention, and we're getting into Bellinger next. So I'm going to start off immediately, and I'll go right into Cody Bellinger to segue right in. As Aaron Rodgers says, Hoskins for first base. Philly openly admits Harper is the first baseman. Yeah, I'd say no way on that one. I'll pass, and if you guys want to comment on that, you can as we go around. But I'm going to start on Cody Bellinger immediately. I like Cody Bellinger. I like Cody Bellinger a lot. I know a lot of analytics don't like him. Apparently, his apparent batting average should have been like 270. Still one of the best on the New York Yankees. I think this is a guy who gave up a bit of launch angle and went back to a flat level swing and became a ball player again, a good ball player. Here's my thing with Cody Bellinger. There's already rumors they're asking for 8 to 12 years. 12 years would take this guy to 40 years old. I like him. I think he could play first base for a long time. Very good. There's also injury history out there. I'm going to just come out and say my prediction on this. I personally, my facts, I am a hard pass on Cody Bellinger. If it was a 5-year deal, I'd be very open to it. I'd be very open to a shorter deal, but let's be honest, this kid's going to get paid. He's going to get paid by somebody. I'm a hard no. I am passing on Cody Bellinger. Let's go to Dayne first, since we never gave you an early chance.
I would say no as well, because the amount of money in the years scare me. I just can't see paying Cody Bellinger for 10 years, close to 300 million or whatever. It's too much money for that. Save it for Soto.
I do not disagree at all. Heck.
When it comes to Bellinger, I know what you're saying about like the injuries, but that's a Brian Cashman type of player. A player with injury history. Come on, guys. We know we gotta be realistic when it comes to that.
He can't bunt.
I was hoping nobody brought that up. Damn it.
He can't bunt. Kev, I'm sorry, Pete. I apologize. But when it comes to the Yankees, I don't want to see them this offseason. And yes, Bellinger is a player that I like 5 to 6 years. I don't want to see them penny pitching. Right, they had over 3 million people went to Yankee games last year. 3,269,016 people went to Yankee games last year. That's how many tickets they were sold at $118 on the average. That's $385,743,888. Don't be cheap this offseason. Do what you got to do to improve this roster.
So you're a yes.
I'm sorry if it wasn't that sure. Yes. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No worries. You're a yes.
Yes.
Mario, Cody Bellinger, what do you think?
I've said this a million times on here. I would stay far away from Cody Bellinger, right? Kevin brought this point up to me about Masataka Yoshida, right? Going back to left field. If we were to sign Yoshida, there's probably a good chance we weren't going to get Soto. God forbid the Yankees, sign Cody Bellinger to an 8-year deal. And then Juan Soto hits free agency, and they end up saying, we can't pay Juan Soto because we paid Cody Bellinger last year, and he had a terrible first year. What would this fan base do if he goes to like the Mets or Boston in free agency? But Hal says, nah, I can't do it. Well, let me ask you guys a question on this. And also, listen, my gut tells me he's going to regress. I just don't think he's a good fit for the Yankees. I know his dad and everything, but I just think he's going to regress a ton at least. If Juan Soto's not traded, right, we're talking this is kind of after Christmas. Yankees still don't have a left fielder. They say, listen, you give Cody Bellinger 7 years, $205 million. You doing it?
Wait, repeat the part before that?
The last part broke.
My fault.
Yeah.
So I'm saying with Bellinger, right?
Okay.
Like I'm saying like it's January, right? Are you giving this guy a 7-year deal for $200 million? If the Yankees didn't get, we'll talk about it later, Kiermaier, didn't get Jung-Ho Lee, didn't get any outfielders, are you giving Bellinger a 7-year deal north of $200 million?
I'm not giving Bellinger more $28 million a year. No way in hell.
Hey, that's $28 million. That's $28 million.
That's a little bit right on the money, though, Pete.
That's $28 million, Pete.
Yeah.
$200 million for 7 years.
28.7. That's $700K extra.
I'm saying, are you guys doing that? I'm not.
Me? No.
I'm not. Sorry.
Who you would UnPop?
Yeah, and I'll get to my point when I'll let it come around. Yeah, but I would.
Perfect. Kev, go ahead.
Listen, what I do love about it is that he can play first base, and that's huge.
I think that's the most attractive.
Because the big if it will be Rizzo this year, right? I know we have DJ. I get that. We're gonna get to another guy, but I'm pretty sure about Candelario. That's my pick for first base, but yeah, I'm telling you, that's the one thing I like about Bellinger. I have to agree with Mario. There's something about him being a bust potential that really worries me. His bad year in the Dodgers really concerns me, because if he has that in New York, the fan base is not the Dodger fan base as much as they're a huge, right? The Yankees, you know how we are. So that being said, and I don't want to pay him to pay Soto. That sounds like a Giancarlo Stanton issue all over again. We have Stanton. We don't want Bryce. So that's what I'm looking at. That's like Cashman going back in time and doing the same shit. All right. I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm sorry.
All right. UnPop. What are you saying?
All right, so I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I'm okay with that. But the Yankees
no pun
right
intended?
now,
No pun intended.
Pun intended.
No, but like the Yankees literally right now are like in the Star Wars movie, The New Hope. The Death Star has exploded, and we need to get back to that point where we were that evil empire. And to sit there and say we're going to get Yamamoto, we're going to trade for Soto, and we're going to get Cody Bellinger. I get 2009 vibes all over again. We are the New York, excuse my French, fucking Yankees, all right? Let's stop talking about this penny pinching bullshit. Let's stop talking about all this extra BS about the money. It's not our money. If we can get all three of these guys on this roster for 2024, do it. There's like no ifs, ands about it. We worry about Soto in 2025 when he becomes a free agent. Like right now, if 2024 we get win the World Series with these three guys, you know, yes, I will be mad if Soto walks, but I'll also be happy with that ring on these guys' fingers for 24. So,
well, if they did all that and didn't win, you got to kick Aaron Boone's ass into the Hudson because I mean, that's easy pickings right there on that one. When it comes to the chat, wow, I mean, this is the largest difference we have so far. 76% says no, that they would not. 76% are down on Cody Bellinger. They say no, we are not doing that. 76%, that is pretty large as you see the man right there on the screen. Again, like I said, I think he's a good fit. I don't think he's a bad fit. I wouldn't be mad if the Yankees got him. I'd be a little concerned, but I'd support him. I just worry about the amount of money that it is indeed going to cost. And guys, really quickly, chat, I need you guys to do us a favor here, man. We got well over 300 people in here, and we are sitting at 179 likes. We need to be over 300, guys. Hit that like button ASAP. Hit that like button right now, folks. Smacky the likey, hitty the subby.
See, I got one more thing about Cody Bellinger real quick. Please, I got to say. Also, we talked about Yankee fans, right? We're starving for a World Series. God forbid the Yankees pay this guy north of $200 million, right? We're talking 7-8 years. If this guy struggles early, he already said how, you know, the Cubs fans embraced him, all that. You know how the Yankee fans are going to be. We didn't get Soto. Bellinger is going to be the punching bag if he struggles early. I don't think he's going to want to deal with the booze. I don't think that's just like his personality is like that. With Soto, I don't think that bothers him. With Bellinger, I think it'll get to him personally. I'm not saying he's a head case like Gallo. I don't think it'll be that bad. But if he's locked in for 7 years and he starts off slow, I think that's just, like Kevin said, a Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton thing, and that's what worries me the most. I would just stay away, but I mean, I'm a little different than UP. If the Yankees get him, I wouldn't be happy. I'd just be like, I mean, we'll see how it goes. If Soto, I mean, just because the way the dominoes fall, if they're like, if the Padres are like, we're not getting rid of Soto, no matter what, you know, you can offer us whatever. We're keeping him until the trade deadline. We're going to figure out what's going to happen then. We're not just going to punt the first half away. Essentially, you're kind of saying that if you're giving away Soto and you don't really do anything else. So, I mean, I just don't see that happening. But just the way the dominoes fall, we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't give him north of 200 million. I wouldn't.
Kevin Mario, what I got this creative idea, and I'll make it real fast. What if the Yankees offered him a 3-year deal, at $35 million a season? If teams are offering him $25 million, but you try to do like that Carlos Correa thing with Minnesota, try to offer him a higher AAV for 3 years, and that last year is a player option. He's 28 years old. He'll be 30 going back into free agency after making $35 million for 2 seasons.
I mean, I would. That means that the reason I would do that means that they're really trying to go for it these next 3 years. I mean, I'm assuming that Cashman doing that. We already signed Yamamoto. Now we need that big lefty bat, and then we're gonna do everything we can to still trade for Soto because we got a prospects, right? So putting that, you're going all in on the poker table. I'm 100% in for that. And for those who are saying like that are maybe scared about the Yankees getting it, it is gonna be interesting though because the Cubs did get counsel. You know, they might be building something there, and everybody's sleeping on the Giants. So the San Francisco Giants, who were crazy, they wanted to spend last year and they couldn't. So it's going to be interesting.
Be careful with the Texas Rangers also.
I mean, I
keep
would.
telling people they're going to be a sleeper for somebody. Watch, they're going to come out and shock somebody with another big move.
Yeah,
100%. And Head, I just want to answer that question real quick. I'd be a little happier. It was like maybe like $3 million less, like maybe like $32 million for 3 years. 32, 33.
That's not bad either.
But listen, if it's $3 million more per year, Yankees are going all in. I wouldn't mind. I can't with the 7 year, man. I just feel like that's a disaster waiting to happen. Like the 12, somebody said in the chat, 12 years, ha ha ha. Like, stay away from 10 years, 12 years, 8 years. Shorter deal, Even 4 years, maybe 3 years, but
keep it at
nowhere
3.
near.
Keep it
at
Keep it at 3.
three.
Keep it at 3. Keep it at 3.
With that third being a player option, because if he's able to have 2
That's
back-to-back seasons
Great
healthy,
seasons,
he'll go
he's
back
opting
into
out.
the free agency at 30. He'll be able to set his market. Listen, three straight seasons being healthy with the numbers, he'll get paid.
They get paid still big time. So I want to, before we move on from him, I want to talk about, somebody just brought this up in the chat, and I did forget to ask this question to you guys. There was the rumor about a Juan Soto deal, and now there's actually confirmation that the Padres do want to move Jay Cronenworth. Question to you guys. Would you do that deal? The same deal that maybe even Dayne said, but you're taking on that money. I believe he got 7 years, $80 million is the deal for Jay Cronenworth. If that lands you Soto, are you sitting there going, give me this deal? I want to go last because I'll explain why. Dayne, yes, no?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't hinder you at all?
Not at all. He's left-handed. He had a good on-base percentage. He plays all over. Why not?
Okay.
Fits the Yankee mold.
Yep.
On base machine. He can play multiple position, left-handed bat in Yankee Stadium. Better numbers than San Diego, 81 games out the season.
Okay, Mario.
I would 1 or 2% of me kind of says no, just because I don't know if Soto's going to be extended. But I mean, you would pretty much have to do it. You have to do it. But I would like it if Soto was extended, and on top of that, you take on the Cronenworth contract. Then I would do it. But either way, even if Soto said, I want to test free agency, I think I would still do it.
All right. Kev?
Listen, the Yankees paid Josh Shitty Skunk Mullet $26 million for what was it, a 70 OPS plus? This man on a bad year had a 97 OPS or 92 OPS plus. I'll take 11 million for that all day. I'll do it.
All right. My guy UnPop.
Hell yeah. No question. As long as Soto's coming, we can take on whoever.
All right, I'm gonna explain to you because I've been over this a couple of times. 19 con man, his a 70 is 80 million is what Cronenworth is worth, or it's not that's what he's worth. Cronenworth isn't worth that. He's paid that. Here's my thing on this, and I'll make this very simple. Cronenworth, if I've talked to some Padres people, they said he had a down year this year because it had a lot to do with the reason Gleyber Torres had a down year. They put him out of his best position. They left him at first base, and he wasn't good over there. He struggled at first base. If I get Cronenworth in that deal, I'm sorry. Gleyber Torres is traded and he's the second baseman. That's it. He's the second baseman. I tell him coming in. Mario. I tell him coming in, you are the second baseman of the New York Yankees. That simple. You're not playing anywhere else. You're playing second base. You got the short porch in right field. I think you could guarantee a 20-plus home a season and a solid on-base percentage. He is my second baseman. It's his best position. The years he was an all-star and he was very good was mainly at second base. They moved him to first base this year. He wasn't the same guy. I think sometimes these guys try to leave their body and become somebody else. I looked into him a little more. Launch angle went up a shit ton this year. Batting average went down a shit ton. It is not a coincidence. That is indeed what happens. That's what happened with him. I would take the risk if it gets me Juan Soto. There's no denying it. Then move Gleyber Torres in that deal. And again, Gleyber Torres grew on me a lot this year. So I have no issues with the guy. I wouldn't mind if he's a Yankee next year. But that is the reason why I would 100% just say you are the second baseman. Mario, you got any rebuttals?
No, are we going to get into Torres?
We're going to talk about Torres.
Okay. I'm just saying. Are we going to get into
Wait, hold on.
Yo, you saw the defensive
Mario,
he got,
I was
bro?
going to say that. Mario, is your voice crack a little? We're going to get Torres.
Brian Cashman vibes.
I think my lip is bleeding. He virtually punched me in the mouth for a second right there.
He was like, so can I defend my guy?
We're really fucking good. We're really fucking good.
And Pete, the Yankees have, I was going to say, the Yankees have the hitting coach to fix that now. A guy doesn't like that, doesn't believe much as launch angle.
Doesn't believe much at launch angle. So, getting into the next one, and look, man, I don't know how many free agents. We're not going to go over every free agent. But I'll throw this around the room to you guys real quick. Do you believe, besides for Yamamoto and Bellinger, Blake Snell is out there. We know Jordan Montgomery is out there. Another name that I saw recently mentioned to the Yankees that could make sense. I'm not a big fan of paying relief pitchers. Jordan Hicks. is a guy that's out there, maybe. I'm not a fan of paying relief pitchers, never have been. I think the Yankees have a lot of arms that could become
I don't want anybody
really
with that
good.
last name, Pete. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Stay that last
that's
name has to
100%
stay away
it.
from Yankee Stadium.
Stay away from Yankee Stadium for ages. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to, you guys bring it up. You guys mention it. Not trades, strictly free agents. Oh, I'm missing a big one. Candy. I want to talk about Candelario real quick. So yeah, let's stay there. And then please, if you got another one out there, Aaron Nola, whoever you guys think the Yankees should go after via free agency. I'm not high on anybody else besides Candelario. And I'll mention him. And matter of fact, I'm going to do something even better. I could talk about what the Yankees infield could be. Candy at third base, Volpe at short, Cronenworth at second base, and then whoever the hell to play first base. I'm guessing it's going to be Rizzo, but that's a possibility right there. I know it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but I think there's a lot of upside. I think there's a lot of batting average. I think there's a lot of on-base percentage there, and I think there's a pretty solid defensive club. But I'll go around the room again, UnPop, talk about whatever free agent you want, but can you start with Candelario?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Candelario just for switch hitter. You know, if you miss out on it, like if Juan Soto's not available, Bellinger's moves on, price tag's too high. You know, Candy might be a good option to help balance out the lineup. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially if the dollars make sense. But one person that we never have enough outfield depth, and I honestly think the Yankees could take a flyer on Jung-Ho Lee. He might be one of those little sleepers that maybe he starts in AAA, and then you have that depth in case injuries, what have you. You have someone that could come up and left-handed bat, slap the ball, good defense. You never know.
And before, I don't know if UnPop, if you're done, that's fine. If you're not, you can keep talking. But Dayne, do me a favor. When we get to you, please talk about Jung-Ho Lee because you know a bit about him. UnPop, anybody else?
Nah, I want big names this season. We talked about the big three I want, and then you could supplement with Brandon Donovan and some trades here and there to even Kevin Kiermaier might be a good fourth outfielder option. But I really want to headline this offseason with some big acquisitions, trades, and free agents. Let's go out there and show who the New York Yankees used to be, and get the best players available. Get all three.
Okay. Kev.
Candyman, Theo Candy. Listen, man, when it comes
Kev's guy right here.
Because listen, he plays the corners and he's a switch hitter. When Dominguez comes back, that gives you the Yankee with the big three. That gives them two switch hitters. If you look at the Yankees throughout their greatest years, they've always had two or three switch hitters in the lineup who play every day and just make that lineup great. Now, another thing is he plays the corners, right? He can play third, he can play first. If you like DJ Moore at third, have DJ at third and have him at first. We don't know what Rizzo is going to be this year. He's in his contract year. We don't even know there's too many what ifs that the Yankees have done throughout these last few years that we don't want to go into anymore. Giving Candy there and having DJ can also play second, give Cronenworth off. Listen, we know I don't think that's going to change. The Yankees giving guys off periodically. You have multiple guys who can play multiple positions in the infield. And again, for those who are saying that it's in his walk year that he's going good, go back and look in 2021 when he had 42 doubles and 121 OPS plus with Detroit Tigers. It's not a one and done. Candy has been raking for a while now. He's going into his own. He's training with the guy that trains Nelson Cruz, and we know Nelson Cruz has hit 35 bombs at 38 and 37. So I'll tell you this much. I want Candy. I like Kiermaier because I feel like he'll fill up that void for Dominguez in the beginning of the year because Dominguez is hurt. And I hear he wants to play in New York. He plays good in the AL East, right? Another lefty bat. I like that too. And Jung-Ho Lee is a sleeper. I mean, I know I'm piggybacking on UnPop there, but I know me and Mario talk all the time. I've been talking about Jung-Ho Lee too. There's another guy. I can't get him right now, but I'll think about it now.
Quick thing real quick too. I think, Kiermaier is probably more likely than we want to give credit to.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. As much as a lot of Yankee fans, I think Estevan Florial grew on a lot of people. The Yankees don't like him. I think it's as clear as day. Yeah. The Yankees aren't sitting there going, he's a part of our plans to be a starter or to hold that spot down. I think Kiermaier very, very likely could be the guy in a one-year deal. And as Kev said, could be a sleeper pick a bit. I know there's injuries there and all that, but also like Kevin said, That's right up Cashman's alley. So it could very well be that. Mario, go ahead.
Yeah, Jung Ho Lee definitely would be interested in. Honestly, it just depends on how much he wants, Pete. Also, you mentioned the things with how he faces 93-mile-an-hour pitching. Will he need time? I'll let Dayne get into that a little bit later. Will he need time in AAA, or is he going to be ready to go to the major leagues right away? That's a big question on him.
Yeah.
I also saw, and I know this might not be a popular opinion, maybe Jorge Soler. Wouldn't mind him in the outfield, bring some pop. Won a World Series before, won a World Series MVP. Kiermaier, that's probably going to be the guy who's going to be in center field until Dominguez is ready to go. But there's one guy I wanted to mention who the Yankees better stay away from, and that's Matt Chapman. 31-year-old third baseman.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if you guys think that Pete Simonetti's rants are amazing on Brian Cashman, I'm going to go absolutely, excuse my language, ape shit if the New York Yankees get Matt Chapman. I'm not crazy about Cody Bellinger, but if Matt Chapman's a New York Yankee, I'm gonna lose it.
Is that like I think Kev said it before, right? Those last names we got to stay away from. I think Chapman. Those last names.
Candy would be a nice fit, but Chapman, I'm hearing is possibly 4-year, 5-year deal.
Oh,
I just think that would be like a JD 2.0, just waiting to happen. And I heard he was extremely streaky last year. Like during the playoffs, he looked lost.
He was terrible after the first month of the season.
Bro, if that guy's a New York Yankee, what's that thing?
Wait, isn't he attached to a qualifying offer too?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they trade Gleyber and they get Matt Chapman to put DJ at second base, Ryan Cashman, I'm gonna lose it, bro. You think? Can
we just say this though? It does kind of feel like a Cashman move.
100%. Roger said it in the chat. My
really
boy Aaron Rodgers. I would lose it. I would absolutely lose it on here if we got Matt Chapman. But
and you want to see if our minds are right when it comes to Candy and Mario talking about Chapman. Who do you think Toronto is shopping for right now? It's Candelario to come in and fill up that void for Chapman. So if I'm telling you, man, stay away from Chapman, bro.
Yeah. Literally was about to piggyback off of what Mario said, because you remember when he wanted to trade for Matt Chapman to make him the shortstop?
Yep.
A couple of seasons ago?
Yep.
That's what Cashman wanted to do. He wanted to take a gold glove third baseman and make him the shortstop. So this is the guy that Cashman had on his radar for a couple of years. But I'm with Kev. I want Candelario. For the situation that he the ability to play both third and first base, like you said, so you can flip-flop DJ LeMahieu. This means that there's no lane for Oswald Peraza. You heard Cashman said Peraza had no lane. This definitely means that Peraza would definitely not get no lane now. But now Candelario, switch hitter. The only thing that worries me is he is a solid fielder, above average MLB fielder at third base, but it's just his arm strength. So I can see if the Yankees give him a 4 to 5 year deal, the first two years of that deal, he'll be a third baseman, but then later on he'll transition to first base.
Is there any other free agent names out there you could see the Yankees going after?
I like Kevin Kiermaier. Big fan of Hicks. I don't want Josh Hader. I don't want a closer that doesn't want to pitch more than 4 outs a game. I'm sorry. I just don't like that. So I'm good on Hader, but I do like Hicks. It's not really anything sexy out there besides the big names. And after that, it's just who you got, who's left over.
I agree. Dayne.
As far as Jung Ho Lee, I'm terrified of that contract. He's looking for something like 5 years, $100 million. One thing people got to recognize is that he's coming from the KVO, which is not the NPB, where most of the Asian players come from. The KVO is much more like high A, maybe double A. They don't see pitching above 93 miles an hour. If you look at Jung Ho Lee, he struggles very much against fastballs 95 plus in the WBC. There's some questions with his injuries, if he's going to be able to return to the speed that he was. He doesn't have much power, and he's already 25 years old. If he needs a year plus in the minors, he's going to be 26. Is that really better than Florial at that point? I really don't know. Kiermaier, I think it's silly to spend money that way for someone to hold the position for Jason Dominguez for 3 months. I would rather put that money into Yamamoto and Soto. Jordan Hicks is interesting, but again, I hate spending on relievers when we have so many bullpen options coming up from the system. I agree with Hector. After the big names, there's not much out there, and you'd rather see them go internally with most of it than spend and commit serious dollars and years on the free agent market.
Facts.
Makes sense. We got a couple of super chats to get to. David Miser says, here's a sold team, Rizzo, a solid team. Rizzo at first, DJ at second, Volpe at shortstop, Chapman at third. Trade Torres and anyone else for Soto for left field and Kiermaier at center until Jason comes back in May and Judge the right field. That solid defense all around. That is David's hashtag my facts. Those are his facts, okay? David Cohen says, I'd sign Matsui to closer from Japan. I heard something about him that he had a lot of trouble gripping to Major League Baseball. And it affected, yeah, he has small hands. He's a small guy. And it apparently affected a lot of his pitches he was throwing. So I don't know, how that would work. 19 Conman says Luis Heel in the bullpen. We're going to talk about who the Yankees currently have to. And next we're going to get right into trades. J Station says, all right, Trump shouted out Nestor Cortez. Hilarious. Okay. Well, we're not going to talk any politics, but that's nice. Okay. That's cute. Moving on to trades. That you can see the New York Yankees making. I'm gonna start this off with I as I said earlier, a very logical deal. I think the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees match up very well, and there's already rumors out there right now that they've already started talk on Burleson, who's another big lefty. They have. I'm not too high on him, and Brendan Donovan. Me and Dayne absolutely love Nolan Gorman. He's a natural third baseman, but he's a kid who's 23 years old and just popped 27 bombs. So I don't think they're jumping up and down for joy to trade this guy. But I tell you what, I am a big fan of Brendan Donovan. I like this kid a lot. He came to Yankee Stadium and shoved. He was smacking the ball off everybody, and he's a contact guy, high average, good on base percentage, good eye. Plays a good second base, plays a decent third, and plays left field. I kind of want to get back to the days of giving guys a bit of a set position. I don't know what that would look like, but I think Clark Schmidt and maybe another guy, a Ron Marinaccio for Donovan makes a shit ton of sense for this club. And if you were to add a Soto with that or a Candelario with that, and you're able to run that lineup out, you're sitting there looking, and you know what you're going to say? Fuck bunts, hit the damn ball because everybody can do it. So that's the prime trade for me. I'm looking at, if we're going to talk about trades, I'm looking at Brendan Donovan. And then when it comes to Gleyber Torres, here we go, Mario. We'll have a chance to talk about this. When it comes to Gleyber Torres, I just feel if you get Yamamoto and you get Soto, you have to trade him. I think you have to trade Gleyber Torres. You got to save that $15 million. And I know people, I get it. We're the Yankees. It's also a business. And to me, it's a smart business decision in that case. Trade Gleyber Torres. People talk about the Mariners loving him. Obviously, the Marlins have tried 2 years in a row. I don't know if you get an Edward Cabrera for him. They got a couple of decent. Nardi, I think his name is a lefty relief pitcher. The Yankees will need one. I don't know if you get two of those guys for him. I don't know if you get one of those guys and maybe a couple of prospects. But that is something I would certainly do, but as long as they're taking on that money that he's going to get via arbitration and get that off our books and we get some cost-controllable guys. Those are the two big trades that I'm looking at. There's another one that's not as popular with a lot of people, but I love this guy. I just don't love him under Aaron Boone, which is something that Dayne brought up to me, and I was like, yeah, you're right, is Yoan Moncada. I think Moncada's a guy with the Yankees could be phenomenal. I just think that kid has not reached his potential. And I think he's a very good defensive third baseman. I think he's a guy that has a good on-base percentage. As long as he's healthy, which is always a concern with a lot of guys, I think he could be another decent target that the Yankees go after. Let's go around. Let's go straight down and around. So, Kev, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best with St. Louis. There's another team that I feel like they're been match made in heaven. They've tried to get deals done before, which I really wish they would have pulled the trigger. Was when Ketel Marte was on the trading block, and the Yankees
Oh,
failed on that
yes.
one.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
Arizona has a plethora of outfit. Not saying we're gonna get Ketel at this point. I think they're gonna save with him. That's their guy. I mean, would have been nice to have a guy who's hit 15 or it's 18 consecutive postseason games, right? But that being said, they do have a bunch of outfielders. They need pitching. They need to string that bullpen. They need starting pitching. So I do see something there. Possibility is it McCarthy? Is it Alec Thomas? I don't know. I love Alec Thomas.
I like Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, I love McCarthy too. Alec actually fits right in. Speed, young guy, lefty, on base is crazy. But yeah, Arizona, and also like you said, you got Moncada. But we said this before in another in the game season live, right? If Soto's really off the table, or if Soto gets dealt somewhere, and for some godforsaken reason they're able to sign an extension right away this season or something like that, and you got to get creative. I mean, why not call the White Sox and see about Robert? I mean, what are you guys gonna do with him? Are you guys gonna rebuild? Are you guys gonna build around him?
They said everybody's available. They already said it. They said everybody's available. They're trying to really revamp that club a lot. So
exactly. So you definitely have some avenues there. And listen, I do love. I mean, I'm just saying because you're bidding with the Mets about Yamamoto, but if you do get him, you have a plethora of arms that you can trade. And there's multiple things that and this is where normally I would say Cashman is at his best working his trade. It hasn't looked like that in the last few years, but maybe he listened to us and took his head out of his ass and gets it done.
all right. Heck.
Kev, that Brugal hitting if you thinking Cashman listening to us fans. I just want to say that right now. That joint hitting right now.
I get a kick out of it.
My facts.
No, but I literally was gonna say what Kev said about the White Sox because I like Donovan Pete. I know you like him, but I know he was injured this year. Mercado is a guy that the Yankees tried to sign when he first came over from Cuba. We lost out on him to the Boston Red Sox. He's a switch hitter. You saw how good Kenyon Middleton was when he came over to the Yankees. Yes, Boone may not be the best leader, but it's better than what's going on in Chicago, apparently, because Tim Anderson got released by the White Sox, and he ain't going to be on the White Sox anymore. Biggest loser in baseball, right? But I think the White Sox...
Shout out to Anderson.
He's going to be fighting...
Tim Anderson.
Hold on. He's going to be fighting Jake Paul. Watch.
Bro, I guarantee you, bro. I saw some people put that on Twitter. I guarantee you that's going to happen. But no, I think with Moncado, the White Sox was so low when it comes to him, so you don't have to give up that much because they just want to get rid of his payroll. I mean, his money that's attached to his contract.
Well,
when it comes
can I throw something? Can I throw something out there with Moncada? Because I did see somebody mention that he's owed a bit of money. All right. Well, you get whoever. You get a couple of these guys, and like we said, maybe Gleyber goes for that. What if you reach out to them and go, hey, look, you guys want to revamp that team, get some leadership. What about DJ LeMahieu in that deal? You take his contract, we take his.
Yeah.
And I love LeMahieu, but at the end of the day, people are right in the chat. He's owed some money. Okay. Then you get creative. Yeah. What about a DJ LeMahieu deal? You got Oswaldo Cabrera still. You got other guys that can play the infield. So just throwing that one out there.
When it comes to Moncado, his contract, he's owed $24 million this season, but for 2025, it's a club option. So if it doesn't work out with the Yankees, they can literally just get rid of him. It's no mutual buyout or nothing. So you don't got to worry about any money being on the payroll for next year. So you can literally just pick up that option and just say bye-bye if he doesn't work out. I like the idea of trading Gleyber, a 3-team deal. If we sit down with San Diego to trade for Juan Soto, it involves the Yankees, it involves San Diego, and it involves Miami. You send Gleyber Torres over to Miami. Whatever pitching you get back from Miami, you just ship that over to San Diego on top of whatever we're going to give him. So if we have to bring back Cronenworth to have him play second base, then you send Gleyber Torres to Miami. You flip whatever you get from Miami to San Diego, and that just sweetens the deal for the Padres.
I like it. Makes a lot of sense. 3-team deal and that. You could even say, you could even say the Marlins, but you could also throw the Mariners in there potentially. That could be a part of a deal like that.
I'm hearing a lot about Eugenio Suarez. So, I was gonna say Yankees? No. Just saying they're looking to move him.
Oh, okay.
Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah,
I was gonna say one guy that we didn't mention, and listen, this is something that's been in the Yankee script for success is signing a Cuban player. You got Yadier Rodriguez. I'm pretty sure Dayne knows who I'm talking about. Yadier Rodriguez.
I did a video on him a couple days ago.
So listen, I mean, look great in the WBC. This is a guy who's a flamethrower discussing a slider. So that's another guy that the Yankees could look at, right? Maybe not trying to spend too much and be able to get him playing in New York. That's always a possibility for these guys. These guys love playing for Latin markets, New York, Miami. So yeah, that's another name right there.
My only concern with him is that they're talking 40+ million for him, 40-50 million they're looking for, and relief pitcher, starter. What is he going to be?
It could be
I don't know.
But yeah.
I'll throw him in the bullpen. Pete, I just want to say, guys, we got 311 people watching, and we're sitting at 218 likes. Smacking the like button for the boys. 82 away. Go ahead.
We're also 45 subs away from 20,000. But I also want to say this, guys. The reason we talk about them, anybody, UnPop does this stuff, Mario and Kev does this stuff, Dayne, Heck, everybody does their things. Hitting the like is very important. You guys want to know why? I guarantee if we had 300 likes right now, there'd be almost 500 people in here because that's how the algorithm works. The more you like it, the more people are exposed to NYYU. So that's why we ask about it a lot, because it is very important.
And also, you got to see the heart at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Smack that and keep smacking that heart, because it helps get it out to other people as well. This is a feature that YouTube just put in over the last month. It's on the bottom right-hand side. Just keep on smacking it. I got ADHD and it helps me out. Just keep smacking it. Just keep smacking and smacking and smacking.
If you want to feel like Domingo Germán without abusing anybody, smack that.
God.
Well, that's a very nice way of putting it.
Adios,
cool.
Well, everybody, have a good night.
I'm weather flooded out. Here we go. Right here.
Dayne, go ahead. Your turn.
As far as the Rodriguez kid from Cuba, the command is an issue. The fastball sits 96 to 98 as a reliever. It's a very high spin pitch that gives it that late life carry. He spins the ball very, very well with both his slider and curveball, both close to 3,000 RPMs. And then he also does not spin the changeup, which means he knows how to spin it and not spin it, which means that you could probably teach him a sinker real quickly.
Yep.
It's something to think about. The arm angle is very Diaz brother-like. It all depends on what he wants. If he's looking for 40 million, that's probably too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Jumping into Moncada, he's somebody that I agree with Hector about. I would love to see him moved, but I have PTSD about Boone and him. I think that could be a worse situation than Torres even is. But as far as talent, I'm a big Moncada guy. Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, left-hand reliever. If they're trading bullpen arms, I'd really like to look at him, see if we couldn't get him. And going to the Cardinals, I know Brendan Donovan is the name on the table right now, but I'm a big Nolan Gorman guy. He is 23 years old. He's playing out of position at second base because they have Arenado at third. I think that he could be a monster piece in the Bronx, but he's going to be expensive.
Okay.
If they move him.
Can I ask you this, Dayne? Would you do Michael King and Schmidt for him?
Depends on if we had gotten Soto or not first.
Okay. I just throwing it out there, and because I want to shout my brother Francis out. He gave that suggestion the other day, and it made sense. And before we get to Mario real quick, the chat loves Candelario. They say 67% says yes.
Trick or treat.
To sign Candyman.
Candyman. Before we go to Mario, Dayne, anybody in Arizona you feel like there's a possibility? Or was I just throwing stuff at the wall?
You mean for them to trade?
Yeah.
I don't think there's no way in hell would they get rid of Marte now.
No. Alec Thomas
I could see
and McCarthy.
Thomas.
Yeah.
McCarthy 100% they would move, but because they still got more outfielders coming up.
Correct.
I could see them going. I would love to give Alec Thomas a chance at center field.
Yeah.
100%. I'd be over Kiermaier.
Absolutely. Just put Dominguez on left.
If something just clicks for that kid, he could be a monster. Great speed, great defense,
base
good
percentage
power.
is great, bro.
So he could be one of those guys. Yeah, if you can land a kid like him, throw him in center field, leave him there
love that, bro.
And try it out.
And he bunts
for that. And he bunts.
And he bunts.
That should be the reason why the Yankees get him. He can bunt. Mario, go ahead.
Absolutely.
I definitely think the Cardinals are definitely a team the Yankees will be talking to. Don't see them trading Gorman, honestly. Like you said, a guy just popped 27 homers. They're not going to be in a rush to trade this guy. Donovan just came off. I believe he had elbow surgery, right elbow
Recovering
surgery.
too, by the way. He will be ready in time.
You know,
he's doing
Yankees,
a throwing program already.
Yankees see a guy injured. You know, Cashman licking his chops. So that sorry, I had to bring it up. That could definitely be an option.
Oh God.
You guys are mentioning the White Sox, and I already saw it in the chat. Luis Robert. I could listen. I know he's got injury history, and I know he's a phenomenal player. But Yankees don't, pull off Soto. Maybe they can talk. I mean, I believe the GM was there during meetings. He was like, "We're open for business. We're ready to."
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, listen, maybe that's a possibility. But let's get into my guy. Let's get into Gleyber Torres, man.
No.
And I'm gonna try to be as serious as possible because I'm usually smiling when it comes to the Yankees, but this is my guy, man.
Oh shit!
All right, listen, I think he is gonna get traded. I've already accepted the fact. When the news breaks, I'm gonna be crushed. All right, I know.
Are you gonna crush the cup?
Oh my! I'm gonna just look at the cup. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at the cup. That's it. But yeah, I mean, I think he gets traded. I just don't see the Yankees extending this kid. Could be Miami. Could be Seattle.
Could be in the Soto deal.
It could be.
Maybe.
It could be in the Soto. You never know. 3-team trade like Hector brought up, but I mean, we'll see what happens with Gleyber. I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me to see him go, but we'll see what happens, man. I just don't see the Yankees extending him, and they're gonna want to get something for him. You're not gonna get you might get more at the deadline if he's really doing well, but it'd only be for like a couple months. So you probably be getting more before the season. So we'll see what happens, but I think he's definitely gonna be on the block, unfortunately.
And before we move on, we had a couple of super chats, I believe. Let me get to those. Aaron Rodgers says, if we get Yamamoto, do we need a 6-man rotation because of his transition from Japan? If so, who is the 6-man? No, you wouldn't need that. The Yankees didn't need it with Tanaka. You wouldn't need that. David Miser says Alex Verdugo. David, we talked about that. If you want to catch a little bit of the replay before we when the news broke, we discussed that. Zach says, if Milwaukee goes sell mode, it's a good one. I'd love Williams. Give them Peraza. I do a lot to get Devin Williams over here.
Oh my
God.
of
a closer. Hell of a closer, and the Yankees desperately need one. That's not a bad idea at all, but UnPop, let us know. Let us know your facts. # my facts.
My facts. You guys said you guys used a lot of my examples. I was going to talk about the White Sox fire sale, but I'll go a little unorthodox. We had Brian Cashman already linked to like a Max Kepler. And, say if they miss out on a Soto, they miss out on a Belly, I can see them now pivoting towards a Max Kepler, Jeff McNeil, Jorge Polanco, like trying to supplement and start to rebuild this roster with a bunch of left-handed expiring contracts that can take some players off of some other teams' hands and potentially give them some controllable players. So I can see something like that. Max Kepler, Jorge Polanco. They already, Brian Cashman loves doing deals with the Twins, so that can be an easy, easy swap of players. Should you grab those two guys, then you can work around Gleyber. Here's the thing. I know Mario, doesn't want to trade Gleyber, but you have to make a decision on the guy. If you're not going to give him $150 million, $200 million, you have to get something back from him now. You're not going to get much back at the trade deadline.
Facts.
And then I believe Gleyber is worth way more than a qualifying offer and a compensation pick. So get what you can now, and who knows what those prospects could turn into. That could turn into the pieces we need for Juan Soto. That could turn into potential back of the end rotation, closer, reliever pieces. So the trade market doesn't really excite me as much as the big names that are available. I see Brian Cashman going bargain bin hunting with a Max Kepler. But what would be interesting though? Anthony Santander is actually on his last year of arbitration.
Sign me up.
Damn,
Always
I was gonna say that
Always
nobody's
loved him.
good shit on Pop. Go ahead.
Yeah,
talk.
I'm just saying that's Gleyber's boy. That's all I'm saying. Anthony Santander.
So that I know he's
Best
a, I
friends on
know
the
he
same team, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. But it's a right-handed bat, so I know we're contradicting ourselves.
No, he's a switch hitter.
Let's switch
Switch hitter, buddy.
switch
Right,
hitter.
you're right.
Switch
He
hitter.
switched. My fault.
switch.
Yeah. So that might be a move. I just don't know if Baltimore is going to go ahead and trade with.
They
them
need pitching
for
though.
now.
They need pitching desperately.
I'll just
Yeah.
say this. Thank
They
God
need
I
pitching.
call games, so I don't got to hear Michael K say his name 150 times because
Oh
he
my
says his
God.
name worse than anybody I've ever heard in my life. So thank God I call games. I don't got to hear that garbage. But that's a good one, man.
Yeah,
Anthony
I sat down there, bro.
Santander's
Yeah.
no doubt about it, a good one. Before we move on, well, not move on, but I also did want to get really briefly into the Yankees coaching staff.
Ay, Dios mío.
And what it's looking like right now. Did we have another super chat? No, we just got one just now. Zilla says thoughts on Corbin Burns trade if you can't get Yamamoto. I mean, interesting. There's a lot of players out there the Yankees could certainly move to get a starter. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But when it comes to the Yankees now, they're going to need a bench coach. James Rosen is going to be the hitting coach unless something random
Wait,
comes out
Pete.
of nowhere.
Ding. Cupcakes ready.
Cupcakes already. There they go.
The Yankee
There they
coach.
go. For the Yankees coach. That's exactly what it is. Bench coach. Somebody actually, matter of fact, our boy Francis Lee brought this ask me to ask you guys this question in the chat also. With Ron Washington getting back into the game, and actually a prediction I've made is starting to come true. I said a lot of the older managers are going to come back into game. Wouldn't be shocked if our friend of the channel, Ozzie Guillen, is coming up next in a couple of years once Miami's done paying him, and he gets back into the game. I could see that. Tony Payne, I wish could come back, but I believe more and more of these guys are going to get back into the game. But when it comes to Ron Washington getting that job, Buck Showalter's out there. I think Buck Showalter's going to get a manager job somewhere. I still think there's a couple of opportunities he'll get it. If he doesn't, is he the right move for the bench coach with this team? We could start with UnPop.
I don't know. He does way too much ass grabbing for me. He might fit in with Boone with the with the cupcakes. No, on a serious note, I don't know. I honestly think it.
The good one.
I'm sorry. It should be more.
If he starts singing Taylor Swift, we really got a fucking problem.
I would love to see Don Mattingly back. And someone. Or maybe like Tino, someone that's really an enforcer. Like, you said it, P. A lot of people saying Boone needs to get tougher. And like, I really think that the Yankees need a true enforcer on the bench. And I don't know who that guy is right now off the top of my head, but I just don't think Buck is going to be the right guy. I tend
to agree with what you're saying. I don't think Buck fits this club well, this current club. Not a knock on him. But I don't see the take there. Like it just doesn't feel like it works. Kev, go ahead.
I also feel that Buck is gonna take a year off at least because I feel like that situation with the Mets was weird. The way they parted ways and I mean, Buck is not a normal guy to throw shade at anything, but he made it clear that some of the decisions were not his about like playing Vogelback every day. And if the Mets are telling Buck fucking Showalter who to play, best believe that the fucking analytics team is telling Boone who to play. So
yeah, no doubt.
I'm just gonna say that there too. But yeah, man, I agree. I want somebody. Listen, I want somebody with the pedigree who has one who could bring that winning culture back. The Yankees have a plethora of guys they can choose from. Even Shelley Duncan was part of those runs with the Yankees. He's been in the organization for years, respected with the young guys that are there now and stuff like that. So. I always throw Paul O'Neill because I just love the guy. I would love to see him next to Boone and I'm pretty sure he can tell players he would be one of those enforcers as well. But if I had to pick, I do want somebody who's been there and done that, even though a lot of the guys don't like when people say that. But listen, there's nothing better than a veteran guy in the playoffs telling you, let the game come to you, or telling you something that you want to hear in a tough moment or in a moment that you might think you don't have it. Instead of a guy saying, this guy throws 85, 100% this, and the spin rate is this, and he's probably Alex Rodriguez had a great video where Johnny Damon stole third base, and by Johnny Damon stealing third base, Lidge threw a first pitch fastball. And he said, I don't think he's going to throw the slider because he doesn't want to spike it, and Johnny Damon scoring on a winning run. So he was prepared.
World Series you're talking about. This is the
World
when
Series. He just
nobody
released this
covered
video.
third and Damon with the heads-up play getting to third base.
Correct. And he said, I'm going to wait for I'm pretty sure he's gonna throw that fastball again, and I'm gonna be ready for it. I know a lot of people don't like him, but listen, I think A-Rod would be huge in the dugout. That man knows so much baseball. Listen, I know it's an unpopular opinion. I'm gonna use your name right now, UnPop. But listen, man, A-Rod knows fucking baseball.
100%.
He used to go to sleep 5 in the morning
100%.
talking with Edgar Ramirez, fucking those guys when he was in Seattle. There's a lot of reports of him being a young player, just absorbing from veterans. And I'm telling you that dude knows situation. He's played in the postseason enough. He has won. He's a champion. And man, I would love to see that guy back in that dugout.
I would love to see that. Mario.
Yeah.
I'm a no for Buck, but I'm trying to think of a guy that the Yankees with the young kids coming up. I need a bench coach to kind of just set the rules how it's going to be. If Boone's not going to be that guy, right? I need somebody who's going to set the rules, show the young guys the right way, right? Judge can do what he does being the captain, but he's got to worry about his own game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, being the captain of the team, you pick up after the guys, whatever, you're there for them. But at the same time, you need somebody on the bench. I'm trying to think. I mean, Don Mattingly, yeah, for nostalgia. A lot of fans love him. Donnie Baseball never got a chance to win a ring here, so that would be cool. But I see the chat talking about A-Rod. I don't think A-Rod would ever be a bench coach or the manager of the Yankees.
And I don't think not even for Boone and not with Cashman being
and
there.
for Boone, yeah, no chance. And also, I love A-Rod, but the ego, he would never do that. I think he likes his job with Fox, but I mean, I'm just trying to listen to your guys with your ideas about
Nick Swisher.
bench coach.
Chat say that a lot.
Swisher.
No,
I mean,
I wouldn't go with Swisher.
I'm not. I'm like,
He's gonna get drunk.
okay,
He's gonna
I'm
get drunk
half and
inside
half.
with the
I tell
I'm
you,
half and half on Swisher.
if we have the whole nostalgia thing, right, and you want to go with a winner, I'll be honest. I've been waiting for this guy to manage, and I thought when Jeter was in Miami, I said it. I said I thought Jorge Posada was going to be the next manager.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Jorge Posada be a manager.
That dugout, bro.
Catchers know the game of baseball, man. And let me tell
Especially Puerto Rican catchers.
Well,
shout out to my Boricuas.
you're right. They're the best. They've been the best catchers. And
Thank you, Kev.
The thing is, the thing is too, real quick, when it comes to a guy like Jorge Posada, who, by the way, I don't give a poot what anybody says. The guy's a Hall of Famer. I don't want to hear it. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody says. Jorge Posada's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the most winning catchers of all time. One of the greatest offensive catchers of all time. He got shafted. And it's pretty fucked up, to be honest, how he got removed on that ballot in one damn try. That's disgraceful. Jorge Posada also gets overlooked a lot when people talk about the dynasty years. He was the catcher. He was an absolute beast. And you've heard Derek Jeter talk about it, and many other guys in their books say that him and Tino Martinez were enforcers. They'd grab you by the neck in that dugout. They didn't play. They would take you in a tunnel, and you listen when they talk. Jorge Posada would be great under Boone. You want to know 2 reasons. One, he would get to learn the game. Not saying he's learning from Boone, but he'd get to learn how the day-to-day operation looks. But let me tell you what it would do. Every single fan at Yankee Stadium would say, make him the manager. And it would put Boone on a hot seat that he's never been on before, that he will look to his right or his left and go, they want this guy. They want this guy. This is the guy they want to be manager. I better get my shit going right. They want this guy to be the manager. And I just think it is the perfect match made in heaven that Jorge Posada take over this team. But again, I think Brian Cashman stops that. And there's no way in hell it happens. Heck, go ahead.
Because that's not his
Listen, Jorge Posada would definitely be an amazing pick. I do like the Alex Rodriguez thoughts, but we all know the baggage that happened between him and the organization. Take all of that. If that wasn't there, I definitely think the organization would give him a chance if none of that other stuff was there. But I'm going to go outside the box. And Miguel Cairo, he was a bench coach for the Cincinnati Reds over the past couple of seasons. Apparently, him and Ellie De La Cruz had a great relationship. So if the Yankees were to trade for Moncada from Chicago, then they'll have someone in Miguel Cairo who'll be able to keep him on a straight edge when it comes to like antics and stuff like that. And if Miguel... Former Yankee as well. And if he's not an option, listen, I just looked up Luis Soho. He's on Indeed at the moment. So Brian Cashman, if you want, I could send you his Indeed account, his LinkedIn account right now if you want to get Luis Soho. Those would be my two options.
What?
Luis
What?
Soho.
He's
El papá de los helados.
Yeah, he's literally on Indeed. I literally looked it up. I just looked up. I was like, Luis Soho coaching, and he's literally on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn right now.
Man,
that's my guy.
That's a
He's
goat,
on LinkedIn.
man.
He's on
That's
LinkedIn.
an absolute goat.
And Miguel Cairo, he's in negotiations with the Nationals. They're trying to bring him in as a bench coach. So, you know, I really like Miguel Cairo. I've been looking into his coaching on Twitter and just taking a deep dive. And apparently he was a big influence on Ellie De La Cruz over in Cincinnati.
I can't say I don't like it. We got a couple of super chats on it. Zilla says Posada, but good luck getting him away from Laura, his wife. I could definitely see that. They have a lot of fun on Instagram.
Okay.
Big facts.
David says Yadier Molina as bench coach.
Well, not
you guys think Yadier Molina is going to take orders from Aaron Boone? I don't.
But he knows. But he knows. But Yadi knows as much as he wants to be a head coach right away, he would have to be a bench coach first.
More than likely.
I don't see anybody just giving him. I get it, and he's great, and obviously I would love to see him in the Yankees.
Yeah,
another guy.
Joe Torre was a great St. Louis Cardinal. You know, we could bring in Yachty like we brought in, you know, Joe Torre.
Aaron Boone can shut the hell up. He could just
Oh, Kev, those cupcakes, are they gluten free? You got to make sure for the next coach.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, they are.
Throw that out there. Okay, they're gluten free and dairy free. Okay.
This is a shout out to LI Yankee King. Capone OG goes, what do you guys mean? No Manny Acta? Nobody wants Manny Acta over here?
I was going to bring him up.
I saw that in the chat.
Sorry, Dane. Go ahead, Dane. Your go.
No, the guy I think that would make a lot of sense is Tony Pena. He's back managing.
Oh, I love that, man.
The Águilas, my team.
La Águila Cibaeña.
They're coming to Citi Field this weekend. Make sure you get your tickets.
They could talk to him when he's there.
There you go. I'll talk to myself. Cashman, let me know.
You want an enforcer. You want somebody that helps with catching. Tony Pena is your guy. You want somebody to be tougher on the bench. Tony Pena is your guy. Look what he did for Gary Sanchez, and after he left, what Gary Sanchez turned into. Yep. The guy motivates players. He's good with young international free agent kids. He's back in managing. He's familiar with the Yankees. Why not?
100%. Love Tony.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
I love it.
Very, very good.
Manager of the year, too.
Before we get ready to wrap this one up, I want to bring up one point about Yamamoto that I forgot. The Yankees have a new minority owner. That owner is Swimi Minami. If you guys don't know about this man, he is a very, very successful Japanese businessman, and he loves Major League Baseball. Always wanted to be an owner, specifically of the New York Yankees, and he made that dream come true. One of the things that Swimmy said, if you guys ever read about him, is the New York Yankees are going to bring in a lot of great Japanese talent over the next couple of years. He mentioned that specifically. He said they're going to be building in Japan and having academies out there also, and it's something that he's going to spearhead. The Yankees have an unbelievable contingent that can go out there, or when Yamamoto comes here and goes, the reason why you should be here. And I think people forget about this guy, but this is exactly what he did say. I think it was in a New York Post. You could go read about it. He's a very, very successful businessman. And I think he's going to play a major part in the Yankees getting Yamamoto. And I would not be shocked if the Yankees get Yamamoto locked in way sooner than people expect. I wouldn't be shocked if it's in the next couple of weeks by the end of the month. I really believe it. I'm sorry. I'm with Buster Olney on this one. I have to be.
So am I.
I think the Yankees are going to shock a lot of people when it comes to Yamamoto. Like Dane said, when they saw him in person and he did what he did, that was like everything just, hey, cross the T's and dot the I's, get the contract done. I think it's going to happen. So and we've been on for almost 2.5 hours already, nights at the round table. Always fun to do. I want to let everybody get their last words in and last final thoughts. So I will go ahead and start with Dane.
Get me Yamamoto. Other than that, I'm good.
Let's go, baby. Yamamoto all day, baby. Anything else, Dane? Dane, real quickly, too. Minor leagues for the Yankees. Can you just give us a very, very brief rundown of who we can expect potentially this year that could impact us?
The pitchers that I mentioned earlier, you have Ben Rice, who is going to be in double AAA to start the year. He's a catcher, first baseman. Hit 324 last year with 20 home runs. Huge left-hand power. Struggles a little bit against left-hand breaking balls, but he makes such good contact and swing decisions from the right hand against right-hand pitchers. You think that would get better? Augustine Ramirez is also in Double-A. He's probably the best combination of defense and ceiling for the catcher position in the system. Then you have guys like Danny Watson, who is a 6'7" Stephen Ridings clone as far as his appearance. Throws 95 from a sidearm angle. You have Jack Neely, who is an unbelievable late inning bullpen arm. Luis Velasquez is another late inning bullpen arm that throws 100 and has a 90-mile-an-hour slider that's just absolutely filthy. I think you can see Caleb Durbin might be an option later in the year. He's a second baseman that strikes out less than 7% of the time. So almost set the stolen base record. But the pitching is where we're going to see the most this year. You're going to see Will Warren, who was absolutely phenomenal to end the year. You're going to see Clayton Beater, who, if he adds a changeup, he's a legit starter. Otherwise, he probably ends up in the back of the bullpen. Richard Fitz is the guy who finished in the top 10 in strikeouts in all of minor league baseball. You've got Chase Hampton, who's probably not this next year, but could be. 8th round pick, 5-pitch mix, throws 98 miles an hour. You gotta love him. And then my favorite is Drew Thorpe. I'm not sure the guy's ever going to be an ace.
Best changeup in the minor leagues, Dayne?
Yes, and it's not close. I've never seen.
By the way, folks, just a spoiler: all those pitchers Dayne just mentioned will be pitching for the San Diego Padres.
Yes,
yes, big facts.
And Dayne, by the way, Dayne agrees.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Dayne.
Trey Sweeney, you might see him. That's really probably about what we could expect for next year, unless there's some really, really big breakouts.
And if I could ask you just one more thing too, when it comes to Ben Rice, I know your opinion on him may have changed a bit. Do you believe in the numbers he put up last year? Are scouts saying that? Do they believe in this kid for real?
Yes, I do. I do. I took me a long time to decide. I had to read a lot. I had to go back and watch a lot of film. The bat to ball decisions are elite. The barrel percentage is elite. There's really not much to say that power is usually one of the things that develops last in a prospect. And the only thing missing from Ben Rice's profile earlier on was that he didn't have power. He was an on-base percentage machine. And if you go look at the PARS list, he was a top 10 ranked catcher. And so he's very, very, he's got the bat to play either positions. And if he ends up behind the plate, he's got a better arm than Wells.
Wow.
And I'm just gonna say this to Ben Rice, because I mean it truly took me by storm, and I watched a lot of his bats as well. If Ben Rice has a spring training like Dominguez had or Volpe, how do you keep this kid off the 40 man, or not even give him a shot if Rizzo's not even ready? You know what I'm saying? That's another question.
I think that they would have to give him a shot if Rizzo's not ready.
Thank you.
He projected to have, I believe, the 7th highest OPS plus in some of the prediction models of anybody that was in double or triple A.
Wow.
For next year. So there's some projection that thinks he's going to be the real deal. He's a year away from being have to be put on the 40 man. So that might be a reason they might not put him on right away, just to keep that spot open. But I think that if Rizzo's not available, you got to think about Rice at first base.
Awesome, Dayne. Obviously, thank you for the insight. And guys, look, you're going to find so much more of that next year. With Yankees Farm, of course, being here. Dayne doing a great job. Greg does a great job. Philo in the chat does a great job. NYYUnderground.com, folks. Make sure you're checking it out. And we are Mariano Rivera away from 20,000, which is, of course, 42. Okay? Yankee fans didn't know that. I mean, come on now. Heck, final thoughts?
First off, thank you, Pete, for having me on. Again, shout out to the chat, an amazing community. Hit that like button. There's still some people in here that hasn't, so smack the like button. Shout out to everybody on the panel. My guy Mario, UnPop, Dayne. Shout out to Kev and Buzz Lightyear that's in the background. I love that Buzz Lightyear that's back there, bro. But for me, it's Juan Soto and it's Yamamoto. Everybody else is irrelevant. Those are the top two targets we got to get. That's how we got to end the offseason. Or start the offseason with those two guys. Trade for Juan Soto, sign Yamamoto, get it done. I just look forward to this season. I'm super excited. I wish I could jump in a time machine and be in spring training and not have to worry about what they do in the offseason because the moves are already done. But Yamamoto and Soto, those are the two targets that I want the Yankees to get.
I love it. Mario?
Nah, Pete, thank you. Thank you, Kev, Dayne, Hector, UnPop, man. Happy to be on here with you guys. Shout out to you guys, man, because I know this has been a tough season for the Yankees, but you guys are here, man. A month after the season's over, a little over a month after the season was over. You guys are here showing us support, man. Through almost 2.5 hour show, you guys are here. Listen to us talk Yankees, man. That's what we love to do. So we appreciate you guys for all the likes, all the support. And trust me, man, 2024 is about to be a special year for NYYU. You guys got to stay tuned with us, man.
Max.
We got a lot of good things coming, a lot of good content in store for all you guys, man. This is the place to be when it comes to Yankees news. So you got to be here. But nah, man, Yamasoto, as you guys like to say. I like that. Yamasoto. Get Juan Soto here. Get Yoshinobu Yamamoto to the Bronx, man. That's what we need, man. This fan base is starving. Hopefully, the front office listens to this fan base, man, and gets that done because we're hungry for a World Series. But nah, thank you guys so much, man. It's been fun.
Big facts, Kev.
I mean, the dream scenario and what I would love is 100%. I'm gonna go and say Yamamoto. I mean, Saki with Mangu, it just goes with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just makes sense. It's a marriage.
Wild.
Yeah, Mangu con Saki, man. And listen, it just makes fucking sense. You know, I mean, that being said as well, I do think the Yankees sprinkle some Kiermaier in there. I know Dayne was mentioning about his contract. He's a vet, but he might not be that expensive as people think. Who knows? He wants to play here as well. If not, I do think the Yankees, even though Pete, I agree with you, they don't like Flo, but Flo is going to be cheap. And it's just something to put in center field while Dominguez gets healthy. That being said, it would be Yamamoto, Mangu, and Saki, and give me some trick or treat with the candy, man. I want candy, bro.
Trick or treat.
Dame some trick or treat. And the Yankees, I'm telling you, bro, a potential. Now we're talking a potential lineup in October with Dominguez, Soto, Judge, Candelario, and a Judge, and also a sleeper is Stanton's hitting 40 bombs.
Ooh.
Damn.
Kevin. Need to
that Brew guy's hitting, bro.
That Brew guy is hitting. That shit hitting.
Clip this because I'm a bookmarker. I'm telling you.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty sure there's people out there that are clipping it. Right?
People are laughing. People are laughing in the chat.
They clipping it right now. No doubt about it. UnPop, thank you. I always love to shout out the guest host, UnPop. Unbelievable job, brother. The time is yours. Go right ahead.
Yeah, first and foremost, thank you for the opportunity to join the panel with you guys today. Pete, I appreciate you. Been rocking with you for a very long time. So it's an honor to be on here on the show with you. Hector, I appreciate you, brother. Without you, without Jigga, I probably would not be comfortable out here doing podcasts and talking Yankees on a live forum. So, I always have to appreciate you guys. And, everyone else on the panel, I appreciate you guys. Opinions were great. The conversation, the back and forth. But to, close it out, man, we just need to be the evil empire again. Every option you guys brought up it would work 100% to make this team better. We just need to go out and execute. Soto, Yamamoto, Bellinger, Candy, all of them, mixture of those guys. I feel like it will be great for 2024. And Cashman, get off your ass. Get to work, baby. That's it.
Facts on top of facts. Chat, give a shout out to UnPop. If you're not following Unpopular Opinions, go ahead and do so. If you're not following Morning Brew Sports, go ahead and do so. If you're not following Bronx or Nothing, go ahead and do so. If you're not following NYY Underground, I don't know what the fuck you are doing. Go ahead and do that, baby. Again, guys, you guys already know I always shout you guys out and always show you guys love all the time. But thank you guys so much for joining the Nights at the Round Table. This was very, very fun. On top of that, I just want to say I also think it's very, very important that we have these conversations. I get people sometimes that go, yeah, people, you get so aggravated. It's just the team. No, for us, it's not just the team. It's a life. In the regard of it's what we do. It's like somebody going to work in a job they love. This is the job that we love to do. So we're very, very passionate about the New York Yankees. We're very, very passionate about the sport of Major League Baseball. And, you know, I always want to make that be known because I think some people don't understand, you know, why a lot of us have committed our life to doing this and we truly do enjoy it. And we don't want to be aggravated all the time. Trust me. We want to root the Yankees on. We want to see that parade happen. We want to, even if it's with Boone, if it's with Cat, I don't care who it's with. Just bring home a chip. And I'm not talking about a chocolate chip, Booney. I'm not talking about chocolate chips. I'm talking about the championship, all right? Not chocolate chips, okay? But yeah, man, I'm right there with you guys. Have a big off season, man. UnPop's right. We're the New York Yankees. We are the New York Yankees,
fucking Yankees, mate.
Yamamoto is all day should happen. And I again, look, we've put our predictions out there. You guys can go, Pete. That was your team. You said maybe they get it, maybe they don't. The opinions are out there. We believe in what we say. Real talk for the real fan. But again, with that being said, guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We had like 350 plus the entire time. You guys are unfriggin' believable. Thank you, and some more thank yous. So, guys, and by the way, Nights at the Round Table is indeed coming back. We're going to figure out a schedule for it, but it will be something that we do this year often. And before I go, I pushed back our 2024 video of telling you guys what we're doing because I'm actually going to be filming something near Yankee Stadium towards the end of the month. So I'm going to wait until that's done, and then we are going to drop what 2024 is going to look like. And I think you guys are going to be very, very excited and happy. Membership stuff is going to be changing also to 1 tier. I've told you guys that already. You're going to be very, very happy about that. But with that being said, stay tuned to the channel. A lot of great stuff coming. Of course, if there's any news, we'll try to have it covered for you. But we're out. Peace, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you for tuning in.
guys.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, it's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next.